Oh my god. Is this really being a dick already?
Yes.
Where's the music? This is my
Correct.
jam.
This is. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm going to give this to Vandy because usually I can do this really quick, but like at the beginning of the stream, and then it doesn't fuck me over until like the end of the stream. But today it's going to fuck me over in the beginning of the stream. So thanks.
Ben strikes again.
I know.
Yeah.
Do you have the? Actually, I'm gonna remove that from the stream. Do you see it in Discord?
I can pull that up presently.
Presently,
I can pull that up.
Oh, here we go.
Boom.
All right, let's start out with some music.
Okay.
right, here we go.
Here's some lyrics. You ready?
I'm Marquise.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak. 7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pull out game weak. Yeah. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up and catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Wipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top if I want to ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet. Come take a dive. It continues along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, a lot more vulgar. Talk your S-word, bite your lip, ask for a call while you ride that P-word. You really ain't never gonna F him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet-ass P-word. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet-ass P-word. Right, so, this is, guys, this is what feminists fought for. This is what the feminist movement was all about.
Oh, no, he didn't. Miss Peaches?
Right.
Whoa!
Oh my god, we got Grr.
That was way better than the intro that I had because it was just like one verse. So you're already outdoing me in every single way.
Oh my god! You know what? I do got to give it up for Regios. Regios actually has a money bags emote because he is so amazing. Thank you, Regios. He gifted 20 tapioca weasels to the stream.
Weasel cult.
Weasel cult.
Weasel cool.
Winning like weasels.
Oh yeah, look at this. Regios knows what's up.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm thinking about going to is it Streamlabs or whatever where it gets the thing and it pop all the big.
StreamYard.
No, it's another one where people like do the super chats and they can every time they do something like you can the thing does a
Is
thing
it like OB?
and,
Oh, that's like on Twitch they do that.
yeah, Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do Streamlabs though, which is what I think most of the streamers on Twitch use. I don't know. Grr. All right. Where you been, bud?
I've been taking a much needed break. I'm telling you, watching the nonsense that comes out of seemingly everybody these days, but like when it comes to dealing with Christian arguments, we've all heard them 1,000 times before in only 5 different ways. And then I thought, you know what? I know. I'm just going to get more political because right-wingers, as we all know, they just can't control themselves with spreading misinformation and just straight up nonsense and, well, in hatred on top of it. But then I thought, you know what? This is really screwing me up. I need to take a break. And so that's what I've done. That's what I'm still doing. We had the first stream I've come on in forever. I did go on B.S. Lewis's channel like a few weeks ago.
No, you remember me stalking you?
I do. As soon as I saw you in the sunshine, I was like,
damn
oh,
it.
shit,
Not this
cult.
bitch.
But I'm so
right.
glad to be here.
I mean,
You know what? Grr is the only streamer last year that stood me up. You son of a bitch.
I don't. Oh, was there a time when I was That's right. I was supposed to
Yeah.
go on your
You're
stream,
supposed to
your
come on my channel, and like the week before, you were like, you know what, guys, I'm quitting YouTube.
That's right.
I was like, this
I
son of a
remember.
bitch.
Okay, hold on. If you have a week's notice, it's not standing you up.
No, yes it is. Look, have you ever been a beautiful woman?
No,
Have you ever been a beautiful woman? You don't get to weigh in here. Bre, am I right? Somebody like tells you for
Oh.
6 weeks they'll be on your show, and then at the last minute they're just like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about you. Guess what? Nope.
You know
Nope.
what's funny is when you
okay,
had
a week before isn't last minute.
It was totally last minute. He wouldn't have
It's not.
told me if I hadn't reached out to. You know what? Why are you even
oh
here?
shit, that's
Holy
probably
shit.
true. That's probably true. If you didn't reach out to me, I hate to say this, but I probably wouldn't have.
You know what? Yeah, what now? Yeah, you know,
Oh.
I can.
Fuck you.
I
Weasel powers.
ha! I have weasel powers.
Whoa! What is happening here?
This is what happens when you
this is a
let the
coup.
weasel. This is what happens when you let the weasels out of the coat.
Weasel. I always say your name like Pauly Shore. Weasel.
Can you do that little,
Weasel the juice?
like, you know, remember how you used to do that little, or however that
Was it?
goes?
I
I don't know.
can't do it. Yeah.
Maybe it's me. I was a '90s teen, and I used to love Pauly Shore.
Me too.
Yeah.
I went and saw Pauly Shore in like 2015 or something like that.
Well, Pauly Shore just came out with a short, like a short film, portraying what's that guy's name? Richard Simmons, the exercise dude from the '80s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons. It was actually pretty good. It's only like 8 minutes long. It's on YouTube, but it was pretty decent.
Okay.
Like they actually do look alike. I never thought about that before until I saw the short
Interesting.
film.
Is Richard Simmons still alive?
Yes, I looked it up after I watched it because I was wondering that same thing. I'm like, is this dude still alive? And yes, he is.
Oh my God,
Thankfully.
Gurr, I do. Before we go over, you have to say hi to your fans. People have been ecstatic all week.
Well, y'all make me feel special. I have to say, it's so good to be here. I haven't talked to any of you in so long. Like, me and Bre were like always hanging out in different streams, and I do miss that. Weasel, I just hung out with him a few times here and there, and of course, Maya. Of course, I miss you. And your show, as soon as I saw that you were on the playlist that Pelagia put out, I was like, yes!
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah, that was
you.
awesome.
Go! Yeah! So
Yeah,
that,
we should get Paul.
You know,
Oh my
before we
God,
get
that was so. I
We're
don't know
screwed.
if I ever said this live. I said it in a couple of chats where I'm just like, I don't feel worthy, because there were these amazing streamers that actually put content together. We like, you have no idea. Like, me and Weasel, we love you. We love you, all of you.
We
so
do.
much,
We do love you.
so
yes.
much. But when we got monetized, I set my thing to 99 cents. Because, like, one of the few things we could agree on was that we weren't doing anything extra.
we were like,
So-
yeah, we don't.
I just
we
want to
don't have
say,
time for that.
before you guys get a big head about this, Gurmania actually got a shout out from Pelagia before you guys were.
He
even on
did.
the
He
map.
did. I remember that was
Yeah.
its own stream. It was B.S. Lewis telling you to get fucked.
no, that was it wasn't B.S. Lewis. It was Pat Lowinger.
Oh,
Or
okay. You're
Lowinger.
right.
That was a trip because
You know what? I'm gonna have to find that. That was great.
somebody put in the side chat. I think it was Tux. He was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, Pelagia gave you a shout out." I was like, "Yeah, right." So I looked it up, and the video he was watching was somebody watching one of my videos. So I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god, this is happening!" And then, spoiler alert, Pelagia was like, "I have no idea who this Gurmania person is," and I was like, "Oh, boo! Unsubscribed."
right. No, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna find that. We're gonna have to play before we go out, because before we log off, because that was hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that really
But
was
Paula
fun.
does know who you are now.
Well, that was the other thing.
Titan quoted it. Titan will shoot it over to us, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I'm
If
sure
one of you
Jake's
can
got,
find
like-
it, that'd be great. So I can, actually run a stream. Holy shit. Jake Nelson, thank you so much. You are amazing. What did Jake do? 10 gifted tapioca weasels to the chat. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now everybody can have my nitties and stone vagina, like God intended. Oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a new AIG emote. So, and I told Dapper that this is an honor to him. So now we can tell everyone that AIG is a bag of dicks properly.
AIG is, in fact, a bag of dicks. Just,
Oh,
yeah.
and then who am I missing?
Yes,
I feel like I'm missing somebody.
that
A
is
huge
true.
bag of
Oh,
small
Robin
dicks.
Webster. Robin, you're a love, you're a life. Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. So
You
that
rock.
5 more
Love
by the
people,
way, the
5 more
correct
people can partake in my nitties and vaginas.
Man, I've been missing out.
To pledge allegiance to the Weasel cult, by the way, when you get a membership, you gotta spam the chat with some Weasel emojis, because otherwise,
Is this going to be
what
like
is my
We need
no,
the Polly Shore emoji.
Maya? I'm straight up just immediately going off the deep end here. That's what's happening. Okay, everybody
you
needs to be
have
prepared
your
for it.
own cult? You finally have that now. Holy shit!
Yeah, which means I can
I'm
really
joining.
afford to go off the deep end. I mean,
For fuck's sake.
there we go. Okay, you know what? We have some hot Ben Shapiro nonsense to get
We
to.
do, in honor of Grr, for
Can-
ruining me and Bree's life.
Well, can I just say,
Mhm.
when I was like, all right, cool, I can't wait to go my stream, she sent me the video, which is the one we're about to watch. She says, this is the topic of the stream. As soon as I saw it was Ben Shapiro, I was like, oh my God, why? Why?
Well, I mean, when you think Grr, you think Ben Shapiro.
That's true. It's like, burn, burn. But okay, I'm ready.
Well, Maya's got a teaser for us, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
wait a
Well,
minute.
this
No,
This is
Go
the.
first.
Oh, this Bree screen?
yeah, this
No,
is
Oh,
this
wait,
is
real
you-
quick.
sorry.
Sandrine gave $20 so that we can shout him out. And no one knows who I am either, so don't worry about it. Sandrine actually
I
was
actually
often on, what do you call it? Nick Suter's channel, In Time. And was it not On Time? What was the other one? I don't know. Titan will tell us. But In Time was the main channel. And they were frequently on, I think, Thursdays talking to Nick and Commander McMillan, I believe, about politics and all that stuff. So Nick, yeah, friend of the show. We miss you, Nick. We hope you're doing well. And we hope to see you back in YouTube soon.
Yeah.
With the Sandring, yay. Oh, wait a minute. You hooligan. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. But people are paying me to talk. Your hooligan wants to say, if Dr. Tapioca Weasel was a Pokemon, what kind of Pokemon would he live in?
Pokeball. What kind of
Or
Pokeball would I
Pokeball.
live in?
Okay, yeah, sure, that.
a magnetic one.
You know what? I thought this was going to be a friendly environment, and instead, you know, I'm allergic to magnetism, Bree.
And yeah, apparently I made somebody waste an unnecessary amount of time on a what do you call it, thumbnail. And believe me, I understand.
I love this thumbnail.
See, I was right.
That was awesome.
No,
I love my thumbnails.
Yeah, no,
but, probably better.
No, so Dr. Tapioca Weasel was just on what do you call it? Where were you?
I was on Matters Now.
Matters Now, yes.
We're
Everybody,
reacting to
go
Coochie
sub
Shorts
Matters Now.
at Your
Can I get
Hooligans.
one of the mods to put Matters Now link in the stream?
Yeah. It was a
Matters
great
Now
show. I had a
Vegas
great
and-
time. It was a fantastic show. Yes.
My new
Yeah,
channel.
you're gonna have to do a non-Sunday stream if you want me to get in it.
Yeah, that's true.
And Maynard, girl, you know Maynard.
Who's Maynard? Maynard Saves? Who is this Maynard Saves person? Never heard of them before. No idea.
Apparently, you are biotech. Yeah, that's it.
I'm
Go Lions.
Yeah, biotech.
All right. Were you saying something about or were we moving on to Doc?
Yeah. Well,
I think Bre was.
Bre has.
I was just gonna say this video is for a specific one of these.
It's
clips,
for later.
though.
Yeah, I think that's for later. So I think.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
yeah.
Okay, so this is Bre's. All right, so we don't need to do that one yet. We're okay. Yeah,
we'll come back
this
around.
Is the first one, and Grr,
I just wanted to have it ready.
I thought of Ben Shapiro, and I knew you would love it immediately.
This is the thing. When I stopped streaming, I realized I don't have to watch Ben Shapiro anymore.
Can we all be honest and say that Grr looks exactly like Ben Shapiro, and that's why he covers him so much?
Whoa. Okay, if you're saying like physically, that's better than like politically, I guess. But no.
No.
Okay, I'm shutting up now.
Wait, I can't hear. Can anybody else hear? Oh, wait. Have
No,
you started?
no, I haven't. I've just
Okay,
people have been chatting, and I've been going back and forth with the frame by frame. So
okay.
All right.
Ben Shapiro did a whole lot of he did a lot of funny faces just then. For the record, hold on.
Oh,
we have some steps that we have to take first.
We do.
Right?
We do.
We got an upsettingly nice 6.69 million subscribers for our guy Ben Shapiro right here.
One day I'll have 6.6 thousand.
Why is it? There it is, right there.
All you gotta do is say bullshit. That's all you gotta do. Bam.
And this video, and this isn't that surprising to me. 2.7 million views on this video. But it's pretty money content, so because it's South Park.
It is South Park, so I'll give them that.
I'll give him.
Hey, Grayson's here. Shout out Grayson.
Grayson went down to visit Kent Hovind in his totally not a cult.
No shit.
He gave him an it's not a cult pamphlet to read.
And Kent will be very proud of Grayson. He totally told all the atheists that Kent told him that to tell us that he's not in a cult.
Totally not a cult.
No. Grayson told us. Grayson told us that Kent told him that Kent doesn't run a cult.
This is not a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
So
he totally told us that, and Kent would be proud.
Just like when somebody says, "This is not a pyramid scheme," but if you and your friends sign up, I can get bonuses and you'll get bonuses.
I know we all hate Ben Shapiro, but we got to rip off the Band-Aid.
Okay, right.
Nitty's awesome. Everybody subbed to Nitty. Nitty's been here, I think, since the beginning, and Grr has popped in and out since the middle.
Boom, boom.
Nitty is so awesome. I like Nitty. Nitty's all right. I told him we should start a show and call it the Nitty Gritty.
So yeah, Nitty has his own emote. These are Nitties, and I say those and the tapioca weasels are my favorite emotes.
Yes. Weasel Cult.
Weasel wins again.
Nitty Cult.
Hey, did you want to put out a pamphlet talking about why the Weasel Cult is a cult?
That's a good idea, Bre.
Yeah, you need to get started working on that pamphlet.
That's good content. Okay, let's do. We gotta rip off the Band-Aid. Okay,
right,
Ben Shapiro.
All right, let's go.
South Park has been on the air since 1990. Well, folks, South Park has been on the air since 1997, and there are a lot of times that South Park has been way ahead of politics because, honestly, everything that South Park parodies eventually becomes reality. We're gonna go through some of the greatest hits in just a second. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Oh, yeah, we gotta stop it here because. Oh, God. As much as I love ExpressVPN, I just lost way too much respect for them right here. And also, we're not being We're not being given any money by them, so fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Call if
Agreed.
you want though. Call us
I mean, yeah,
ExpressVPN. With
Yeah,
right here.
ExpressVPN dash Maya.
I know,
50% off.
right? Yeah, code Maya.
I mean,
Get
it's
those perks.
listen. It's better than Ben Whitey, right?
Right.
Just saying.
That's a good point, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, that does it. I'm sick of this and I'm not taking it any longer. You all push me to this. What the hell do you think you're doing? I'm going to the potty. This is the girls' bathroom.
Okay, so
What?
this is Dave Chappelle's joke, right? The
Yeah.
same thing about
Yeah.
if
Yes.
if I were trans, I would be a total creep. So then therefore all trans people are just really total creeps. And it's like that's not how that works at all, because someone would use trans identity as an excuse. And I know Cartman's supposed to be doing here to, I think, just to take a dump, I believe, in the story, but just painting a narrative of people abusing trans identities to go into the other facility is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's, I think Ben thinks that this is like a dunk on the left because, like, this is totally what the left wants to happen. But this is actually a right wing joke. It's just, I can, all I have to do is say I'm a woman or put a bow on my head, and I can waltz on over to the women's room anytime I feel like it. And then, as soon as I come out, oh, I don't identify as a woman anymore. So, keep
Yeah.
treating me the same.
Yeah.
Or all I have to do is identify as a woman and I can play the sport or, whatever the fuck. And
It's funny because Ben is the one who fucked around with that and found out that you can't identify as a woman and just get into these sports. 'Cause
yeah, and
he
still play
made
the
that
sport, right?
he made
Yeah.
that Lady Ballers as a comedy because he wanted to make a documentary where they just a bunch of men join women's leagues. But it turns out you can't just join women's leagues. You have to meet certain standards and criteria to be part of a league, and you can't just come in there as a cis man and be like, I want to identify as a woman and play in your sport, because it doesn't work that way anywhere.
Yeah, and Grayson has a great thing here where it's just like, yeah, I'm going to totally change my life and, go through years of therapy, years of hormones, get, painful and expensive surgeries just so I can go in the women's bathroom or play women's sports or go into, or my favorite one, be in a woman's jail.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, because we see people doing this at all.
Well, there's a few things here with this clip. First of all, like Ben Shapiro and his team, they're only highlighting the parts where South Park is dunking on the left.
Right.
They will not highlight any of the parts where they dunk on the right,
right,
or let alone religion. And Ben Shapiro, though not a Christian, is a religious person, and so it ignores all that.
Right.
And at the end of this episode, because I've seen most of the episodes of South Park,
I love South Park.
Yes,
good.
like South Park. One thing I like about them is even though they themselves, Trey and Matt, are not atheists, they still poke fun at religion, and they also poke fun at atheists. Like they have one where they're poking fun at Richard Dawkins, and I think they even kind of make fun of evolution, but I think it was actually satire of what creationists think evolution is. But that's
yeah, that's one of the things.
Well,
that they
and
do a
this
lot.
is, and he's going to say that this is what's happening in real life. Yeah, that people are doing this thing like, oh, a big burly bearded guy. This is what Joe Rogan fell for the other day. I don't know if y'all saw that or not.
Yes, I saw that.
Where people were doing a sketch, like a sketch about a trans person trying to, like a big bearded guy trying to go into a women's bathroom. It was obviously fake, and Joe Rogan fell for it and was out there ready and poised again to present it as something that was really happening in the world without a second thought about it, without any fact checking or not. They fact check him as they go. It's ridiculous. It lets him say all kinds of crazy shit without any accountability because then he can backpedal, but the sound bites are there.
Yeah.
The kitty litter box thing is still going on because he said it, even though there's nothing to it at all.
But I mean, I honestly, they're not going to see it this way because they straw man every position. I see this as a dunk on the right because nobody on the left is saying that we want this or that this should happen. This is all like fear tactics of the right.
Cartman is not the vehicle to elucidate the point of view of the left in the show South Park. Have you not seen the show South Park, Ben?
Right.
Cartman,
yes, that's true.
Is a self-appointed. He'd be a member of the Hitler Youth.
He's
That's
like a
what Cartman
fascist.
would be.
Yeah, Cartman
Yeah.
He's young Andrew Wilson.
Well, and another thing is, again, Matt and Trey have said that Cartman is their darkest side. That he is a parody, basically. And also, this is the funny part. Anyone who watches South Park knows that Eric Cartman, the one abusing, the trans bathroom, is an anti-Semitic character. And Ben Shapiro is just like, oh yeah, you tell the truth, Eric Cartman, even though you're anti-Semitic and you constantly make fun of Kyle for being a Jew.
When he says something, it is not an endorsement of it.
Right.
You don't want a Cartman to be on your side about something, right?
You're probably on the wrong side.
Said. That is so well said.
Yeah. Unless it's like, I mean, Cartman wouldn't be a flat earther, though. I will say that.
I like this comment. Wait. True irony. Is Shapiro agreeing with a micro-Nazi?
Yes. Unironically. Yeah.
Right. All right. Let's see what else he's got.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Sorry.
I'm going to gin potty.
Oh, sorry.
What?
No,
Did you notice the bow? I'm not comfortable with the sex I was assigned at birth, so I'm exercising my right to identify with the gender of my choice. Now get out of my way, I have to take a
This is 2014. Cartman. The Leah Thomas of South Park.
Get out of here!
Okay, so Leah Thomas is actually trans, though, whereas Cartman is clearly appropriating a trans identity to use the bathroom here, which is not the same thing at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that's the jab. He's saying that Leah is it Leah Thomas is nothing more than a guy with a bow on his head.
That's what the proposition they're making. But Leah Thompson actually goes through the hormonal treatments, goes through the.
She didn't just make up her mind in the hallway that she went to join a women's league.
Goes through getting targeted by name by people like Ben Shapiro, just
freaking the gun girl that you want those liberty people coming after you.
Yeah.
What's that? What was that gun girl? Caitlyn Bennett? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She went after Leah Thomas.
You know what's funny again about this clip that they're highlighting within the same episode, they actually make a bathroom for people who are transphobic. Like they literally say in this episode that there's a bathroom for people who are scared of trans people, and for those that are normal who don't care one way or another that there's a trans person in the bathroom. That bathroom's available. So basically, you have a transphobic bathroom and a regular bathroom within the same episode.
So all the snowflakes get their
they make fun of everybody. They make fun of people. They make voracious fun of the positions that they clearly like. Like they have a whole episode where suddenly everybody's completely addicted to Red Dead Redemption 2. Obviously, they got totally addicted to Red Dead Redemption 2, and they're making fun of it. Like the whole. I hate you so much, Ben.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is really good, though.
It's a good game.
It's a freaking good game.
It's a good game. It is.
That's the one where the sheriff or the police, whoever, goes home to his wife and he's like, "Don't talk to me, I've had a long day." And then he gets on his game and he's like trying to move up within the game or something like that.
That totally sounds realistic.
Okay, because I've seen that episode too.
Yeah.
But anyways, sorry. I was just going to say, again, I think it's funny that he's highlighting the part that he agrees with, which is satire, and yet he ignores what the takeaway message was at the end of this episode. And I'm not saying that South Park is an ally to one group or another, because quite honestly, they just make fun of everyone, as we already kind of established.
Yeah.
But at the end of this episode, though, they actually do say something along the lines of, for those who are scared of trans people, y'all have y'all's own bathroom. But for everyone else who's normal, who doesn't care, we have just a regular bathroom that anyone can use, whoever's comfortable using whatever bathroom. So I just think that it's just, it goes back. I'm not trying to turn this into a religious thing, but you know how a lot of religious people will cherry pick verses of their holy book and will ignore everything else? This is exactly what Ben Shapiro is doing with South Park.
Yeah.
That's Ben Shapiro's career. Is cherry picking any type of media at all.
That's a damn good point.
Now he's dropping number one rap songs though, so maybe he's going to give up.
God, that was awful.
He's going to give up the grift now and leave the Daily Wire in the hands of smarter people. He's going to go start a rap career.
Which is ironic. Ben Shapiro, the person who said rap isn't real music, is now a rapper, I guess.
Right? I saw a meme. Someone, I doubt Ben Shapiro actually said, he said, "I only met when black people do it," but
no, he's not.
I don't think Ben Shapiro actually said that, but
he was thinking it probably.
But to point out, the actual rapper that stars on the song with him is a white rapper, another white guy. So there is that.
So he's more comfortable, basically.
I mean,
give me more issues than I already have, Wendy.
Yep, the girls are not victims. The girls are actually the oppressors. So yeah, this was well ahead of its time. 2014. It wasn't actually that far before the Obama administration really started pushing this stuff full scale and telling public schools they had to do this sort of thing. Remember,
you go.
All of this.
So I don't know if everybody caught the ominous stormtrooper like Imperial March theme that joined our troop of Obama and Biden charging through the White House with their horrifying white shirts.
All he was missing was a Wilhelm scream. That's all that was missing out of that clip. Yeah, you got it.
But it's so funny because it's like such a sunny, beautiful day in that Obama clip, and they're like ominous. It's like, this is scary, and it's like, no, it's not. It's two old men like jogging inside.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's at this point, by the way, that I would like to raise a hypothesis that I would like for the panel and for chat to consider. I believe that we might, again, find ourselves in the very rare position where the editor of the video is secretly on our side. Okay? I think that the way these videos are edited pokes fun at Ben Shapiro. and I think that it's a whole satirical take on him. So, just I'm gonna be revisiting that thesis as we move forward.
This was meant as parody of the left, and then it just became like the left normally.
Say, Tom, do you have any pudding left?
I ate all mine up, silly.
Well, then, now what do we do?
Sorry.
Well, why don't we just explore our sexuality?
Oh, good idea. Let's.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude, I shouldn't be seeing this.
Is there a problem, young man?
Yeah, so, that was just a couple of years before Brokeback Mountain. Like,
you said that was a couple of years before Brokeback Mountain?
It was actually more than a couple of years, and if you mean the movie.
Right. the movie, but was it oh god, based on a short story or something?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So the movie was I'm trying to wait, now we have his gorgeous eyes staring at us.
Oh, oh my god.
I don't know.
Well, we can't stop here. Too many of the women may like fall in love.
Yeah, but I mean, worst case scenario, they're going to have to like grab, a bucket and a mop because of their wet ass, P words.
The other P words.
I know, right?
But I was totally going to make a point that I'm sure I thought was hilarious, but I forgot what it was.
You were telling us about Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, no. Oh, so Brokeback Mountain was based on a short story that came out the year before this episode came out, which was like 1998 roughly. And then, but the movie didn't come out until like 7 years later, like significantly later. And I'm gonna be real, y'all. It's a funny joke that the whole gay cowboys eating pudding. That's what independent movies are about. Like, I thought that was funny. But yeah, the movie didn't come out until way later, which I was very surprised to learn when I Googled it. So he is correct. This was a prediction in that sense, but the short story did come out the year before. But like, do you think Matt Parker and Trey Stone are the kind of people that are spending their time reading literary magazines where you're publishing short stories like Brokeback Mountain? Because that's like a hard sell for me.
Yeah, I would personally find it doubtful. And the other thing is, like, Ben Shapiro seems to be implying that, or straight out saying, that South Park predicted movies about gay couples, when that's just simply not the case. The Wachowskis, who made The Matrix, who are used to be the Wachowskis brothers, now they're the Wachowski sisters over the past probably decade or so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Their first movie was about a lesbian couple back in like 1997, maybe 96.
Was it an independent movie though?
It was an independent movie. But still,
I see your point. It's not a prediction. It was a commentary on the present moment.
Yes. So, and also there was other movies. I think it was called Desert Heat. What was the other one? There's been. I'm not saying that there's a lot of movies with LGBTQ plus like representation, but there's definitely been a handful of them within the 90s alone. And so to think that, oh yeah, South Park predicted that there'd be movies about gay couples is fucking stupid. It's incorrect. Factually, like, Ben, facts don't care about your feelings. Movies existed with gay couples prior to Brokeback Mountain. And the fact that the only thing that they can think of when it comes to quote unquote gay movies is Brokeback Mountain, it's like, well, like, maybe that's a reflection on you, bro. Like, there are other gay, and don't even get me started on TV shows. TV shows have plenty. Again, I'm not saying that it's all over.
Especially in the
airwaves.
90s, which preceded South Park.
Yes. Yeah.
Shows
exactly.
like Will and Grace were very mainstream for.
Yes. It's so for him to be like, oh yeah, South Park predicted there'd be some gay couples in a movie. It's like,
yeah, I mean that's novel. You know?
God, I really just want to just like take him, and just kind of just slap him with a fish. That's all. Okay,
slap him with the fish.
With a fish. It's less threatening.
All right.
Years before Brokeback Mountain, which was effectively about gay cowboys eating pudding. So
there was no pudding. Was there pudding?
I don't
remember.
Recall
it's been
any of that.
forever.
I don't remember the pudding plot point. I actually never saw the film though.
I don't remember there being any. I've seen it a couple of times. I don't remember there being anything about pudding.
I only remember one sex scene, and everything else was kind of implied.
And here's what I'm going to say: the only issue that I have with pudding is if you're going to use pudding, you should seriously consider using tapioca instead.
I mean,
I see
consider
what
tapioca.
you did there. I see what you did. Oh, sorry, Brie.
I was gonna say is probably the best kind of pudding, but tapioca is. Yeah.
You're right, but it's one of those cases where you use the term that's the most specific, and if you're not using tapioca, it's probably because you're not using tapioca.
Yeah, for your best friends in the
Well
stream
done, South
showing
Park.
love.
Who's B.S. Lewis? Never heard of them before.
Weren't you God in one of his shorts?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's a whole other topic, but I think I'm
I
in
know.
one of his upcoming videos.
There was
you're in one of his upcoming videos?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, he'll be on here. I think the week, depending on how quick he can get out. I think it's the week it's coming out. Chill in it. So I'll look forward to seeing you or hearing you.
Likewise. All right, let's continue.
Go ahead.
Dumpster fire.
Mom, Dad, what's a sex change operation?
What? Nothing. I'll explain it to you when you're a little older.
But our teacher, Mr. Garrison, he just had his penis made into a vagina. How come? Penis!
Your teacher had a sex change? Oh my God.
Vagina! Kyle, you have to cheer up, dude.
How are we doing this, by the way? Do we want to watch them all the way through and then?
No.
I mean,
I was going to say, let's watch it within the clip and then.
Well,
comment.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do like the sentiment of that table scene where there's the parents and they're putting it off, and I think it's a really good time to like if there's any parents out there that have kids or just any parents in the future watching the show.
Now this
talk to your kids about sex.
This episode is actually pretty heavy on
it is,
the.
Yeah.
A lot of South Park episodes is the thing, like.
But it deals with transracialism and as a concept and transspeciesism as a concept, which it kind in a way it does pinpoint down because the only one that sticks with it is the actually transgender woman. The person who's transracial goes back to being, by the end of the episode, goes back to being who they were. The one who's trans species which is the dad here, who turns into a does a dolphinoplasty, and they change back too. So everybody else reverts back except for the
trans woman.
Yeah,
the trans woman. So there's the message right there, Ben. It went right over your head.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but there's also. I mean, if you don't talk to your kids at home, they're going to hear about it from school. And I think there's a lot of people, like I was watching the Majority Report a few months ago, and they were talking about this teenager. Well, she wasn't even, she was a preteen. She was 12 years old. She was doing TikToks in her backyard, and she got, one of her fans or whatever found her, essayed her, and because she was in Mississippi, like her mom couldn't take time off work to get her out of state to get the abortion she needed. And then also, like, she was 12 years old. She didn't know what happened to her. And the mom said, no, I never told her about sex because I wanted her to stay a little girl as long as possible. And now she's a 13-year-old mom. Damn. I mean, went to the 8th grade with a baby. We've got to have these conversations. Like, this isn't, I mean, and it's not even, I don't want my kids hearing about, degenerates at school. It's, whatever your morals and values are, like, it's got to be instilled with your children. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't think that, obviously, I don't think the trans people are degenerates or anything else, but their friends certainly are. I will tell that as a person that had degenerate friends and as a mom who talked to 2 teenagers with degenerate friends, you want to get ahead of that stuff. So if there's a moral to this story, I hope that that's one that people are taking from it, as well as all the other insinuations that Bre is bringing up.
Well, I agree with that because, like, I come from a very sheltered background. As like when I was a kid, I was homeschooled. I was very sheltered, and so when I saw that there was more to life than what my very narrow upbringing had led me to believe, I was like, oh, okay. So I'd be like, Mom, Dad, what's this? What's that? And they're just like, well, where'd you hear about, where'd you hear that, Timmy has two dads or something of that nature? It's like, well, listen, like if you're so worried about me knowing this information that I'm going to get brainwashed, shouldn't you be the one to inform me first? Obviously, it would be a very biased narrative and whatnot, but it's like, don't you want me to know? It goes like, for example, drugs. Like, and if your mom and dad is just, or if your parents are just saying drugs are bad, don't do them.
Drugs are bad, okay?
Okay. But then you have a friend who's like, man, drugs, this one particular plant, it makes me feel really good. You should try it. Like, they're going to go, wait, I always heard that drugs are bad. And I'm telling you this as a personal experience because I did experience this because I just thought any D word, drug, and that classifies a shit ton of things, as most of us know, like caffeine's a drug. But just to say X is bad and leave it at that without saying, okay, well, to be fair, son, or whoever, this will make you feel a certain way, but these are also the side effects and symptoms. So, at least be balanced. And like when it comes to teaching your kids about a thing, like give them both sides if there is a both sides to an issue type of thing, which some of the times it's not both sides. It's just the truth. And then there's falsehoods and fear mongering. But I don't know. Like, this is why I can't be a parent. Like, I would just drive myself crazy, try my best to be like, all right, kid, this is what you need to know. And then I would think, shit, I only know that because of my narrow upbringing. So now you're probably going to have a narrow upbringing. But anyways, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, well, one, Native Atheist paid so that I would have to give this to you. So,
thanks,
Grr, you're back. Clearly, this means that you are back.
I am not
back. Content.
I like how you're getting money with people saying Grr is dumb or thank God Grr is back. It's never in between. Anyways, good to see you, Native.
You have to cheer.
Teacher had a sex change? Oh my God.
Kyle, you have to cheer up, dude. So you aren't built right for basketball. But I feel like a basketball player. It's all I want to do.
Hello, boys. It's me, your teacher, Mrs. Garrison.
You guys, Mr. Garrison has titties.
Oh, South Park. How ahead of the game you were. 2005.
But
you're not allowed to make those jokes anymore. Obviously,
people have been getting.
I mean, if you start taking hormones, you can grow titties. Sometimes you can have a nice set like these.
Wait, y'all didn't know that was happening before South Park? What? It just started happening after South Park.
I think Ben Shapiro thinks that South Park predicted titties.
Or at least trans titties. They're like, no, trans titties didn't exist before South Park, right?
Right, yeah.
When I first watched this part of the clip, I was like, so Ben Shapiro thinks that before South Park, like, trans people didn't fucking exist? Like, that's his message here. Oh yeah, South Park. Before South Park, there's no such thing as trans people and non-binary people. But then South Park predicted there would be such a thing, and now there is. Look at South Park. They nail it again. It's like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
Joke is that that Kyle wants to be a basketball player, but he's not good at it, but he still feels like a basketball player. And Mr. Garrison wants to be Mrs. Garrison, but is still Mr. Garrison. Yeah, I can't make those jokes anymore. I mean, South Park can. They still do.
He stays Mrs. Garrison through the rest of the series.
Seriously, though.
Yeah.
The rest of the series.
Meanwhile, Kyle...
Notice how he said that Ben Shapiro can't make jokes anymore.
Right? Yeah. Or South Park. And then he's like, well, he doesn't say that. He specifically points out that they can.
He says South Park can make those jokes, but I can't. But then I want you to keep that in mind when he talks about Caitlyn Jenner. That Ben Shapiro says he can't make jokes. That's the quote. My name's Ben Shapiro, and I can't make jokes about trans people. Keep that in mind when he gets to Caitlyn Jenner. That's all I'm saying.
Hannah Montana's Miley
really
Cyrus.
quick.
Go-
Look, it's like you don't even care about people.
No, Maya,
Yes.
to be clear, I don't care about you.
Well, I am not paying $10 to hear me talk. Jake Nelson says, when the time comes, I will tell my daughter about condoms and not shame her for her desires. Time comes closer than you think. Honestly, I knew about condoms at 10 years old. That's 5th grade, guys. But yeah, I mean, you don't shame people for their desires. I mean, it's futile. It doesn't matter if they're straight or gay or trans or whatever. Like, just let them be who they are and have age-based appropriate conversations. People always laugh when, so I'm very obviously some people might call me a slut. I like to think of myself as sex positive. Sluts rule the world, people. All right. The world would be a much worse place without hookers and whores. I'm just saying.
I agree with that.
That aside, we all got here from sex. Somebody was fucking somebody. It was probably your mom and dad. You know, I was adopted, so my mom and dad never fucked, and proved me wrong. Anyways,
you were born of a virgin.
Of a virgin, yeah. Anyways, it just. You've got to talk to your children, and you've got to have age-based appropriate conversations. My children were never told about their hoo-ha or their woo-woo. They were told that they had, breast and a vagina and a penis, and it wasn't solicit. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to skip over this part. It's like, these are toes, these are knees, this is a penis, this is your belly. And there wasn't anything to be ashamed of. There wasn't like, oh, my mom said I had a penis. Hee hee. Do you have a penis? Hee hee. When you make things taboo, it makes children want to gravitate towards that thing. If they're just natural and normal, like they are, then you can start having these conversations at 2 and 3, while you're going through, just normal things and, teaching kids language. And that's all they should, But telling your children what the proper names of their body parts is sex education. And when they get to like 3, 4, or 5, you need to start telling them about what parts of their body should be touched, and when to tell you if they are. Because again, children are most likely to be SA'd by close family and close friends in their house. And the younger the child is, the more likely they are to be SA'd. So you want to make sure that they understand that if somebody touches me here, I need to tell mommy or daddy or both. I need to get these words out of my mouth. Maybe I need to tell my teacher, but I need to know who to trust. My children, they knew how to spell their name. They knew my first and last name. I wasn't mommy. They could spell my first and last name. Well, my last name was their last name. They knew my phone number. They knew their address. Like, these are all things, like in case somebody kidnapped them or they needed to make it to a cop, they had all the things needed to contact me. They knew who they were. They knew where they lived. But these are all conversations that we need to be having with our children at a young age. And we need to stop acting like sex is a bad thing. Sex is a beautiful thing. It is a way to show love between two people. And children fall in love young. And
that does
you not telling them about sex doesn't mean that they're not going to be pressured into it. And I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I really, really, really need to impress on people the importance of getting past your own embarrassment.
Yes.
For the sake of the well-being of your child. I cannot say this enough.
I totally agree. But
wait a second.
That is not the same thing as an endorsement of performing sex acts in front of children. For the record, nothing that was just said is an endorsement of that.
Yes.
Nope. And people who think that was
probably lean right.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And
Bre, what were you gonna say?
P-Town just got the big old band hammer, so.
Okay, Jester, Lord of Fools, thank you. $5. Can we control if sluts and other words are positive or we can control. I'm sorry, we can control sluts or other words are positively or negatively associated.
What's a slut though?
Exactly. I was just saying to my boyfriend the other night that, I haven't dated a lot of black guys since the last black guy I dated, and he was not the first guy that did this to me. But, we went on 3 dates and it was like a date a week. And then at the end, I'm thinking, okay, after the third date, you should know whether you want to be with somebody or not. We slept together. Like I didn't pressure him. Like he asked me if I wanted to go back to his house. I liked him. I thought we were going to get into a relationship. And then the next day it's just like, oh, well, you're too easy. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? We've been talking every single day for like 4 weeks. So yeah, I mean, like we've been talking, we met at work. We talked for a week and then we went on a date. And then, every Saturday we went on a date. So like after the third date, I'm thinking, I really like this guy. I want this to go further. And you express love. But apparently I'm too big of a slut for him. But he's not a slut, just me. So apparently, guys, I'm a slut. And when I was expressing this to my current boyfriend, and he was like, wait a minute, you made me wait 3 days. Like, is this why? Because, of course, he was ready to go at date 1. But, I mean, I have friends who've been in long-term relationships and they slept together on the first date, and the guy didn't think like, oh, she's a big old slut who'll just sleep with anybody. These are like patriarchal views that we install in people's head. And what is a slut? Yeah, I mean that's a great question because it's going to vary from person to person, obviously. But
they're possessive views. They reflect a patriarchal view of that men sort of should possess women and like control, like that is, I think, is it's terrible.
Well, even when I was a teenager, as a Christian homeschooled kid, I heard somebody say one time, why is it that if a girl sleeps around, actually it might be fucking lyrics. I think this was lyrics in a song. Like, why is she considered a quote unquote hoe? But when a guy does the same thing, he's like a champion.
He's a player or whatever.
Yeah, player. And that really like seeped deep within my little psyche. And don't get me wrong, I was no saint. I was just, well, I'm still in many ways a piece of shit. But I thought, wait a second, so. Yeah, like, so if a girl, like in Maya's case, if a woman has sex on the third or fourth date, oh, that's too easy. But if he goes out with another girl and has sex on the first date, oh yeah, he's a champion. Like he's a player. He's got it. That has always, ever since that little thought creeped into my brain from wherever it came from, that's always stuck with me, and I've never understood it, even as a little Christian kid. I always thought that was fucking
sleeping with
weird.
A bunch of girls makes a guy hot shit. So there has to be some value to that, right? So if it's easy to sleep with women, then I'm not really a Casanova. I'm just taking advantage, getting over like damaged.
Right,
yeah. For women to maintain their value, we have to keep it in our pants and keep you away from it. And it was interesting because the guy I'm dating lived in Germany for almost 2 decades, and prostitution is legal there. So if you're not able to talk a girl into coming home with you, he said, you just go down to this district and you can pay for a girl from, all around the world.
Oh, but that's not him being a slut, though.
No.
If he's sleeping around,
right? Well, I mean, it's just expected. Like if you're a German guy, you are expected to have paid for sex at some point in your life, and it takes a lot of pressure off the girls because you don't have all these guys hounding you and pressuring you because, you don't want it. Fine, I'll just go pay for it. But it is so funny because I've talked to a lot of girls who've been stationed overseas, and they always tell me, well, German girls are sluts. And I never understood what that meant until I met my current boyfriend, and he was kind of explaining it to me. It's like, yeah, the Germans don't think about sex the way that Americans do. Americans are very prudish. but it, when it's readily available, it's not top of mind. But really quick, P-Town, it's obviously ridiculous and indoctrination. 20% of Gen Z are proclaimed LGBTQ. I think it's up to 30 now. Our culture is pushing this poison. Our culture is not. Everyone just is in the spectrum of LGBTQ. I
We need
myself,
to.
I myself am aro ace, which means I am aromantic asexual. I am the atheist of the sexual community. Which, is great, right? And I'm
this is
sorry,
the.
I do want to let you talk, Brie, because I do want to hear your opinion. But just really quick, it's not pushing a poison. And I'm saying this as somebody who grew up thinking that maybe something was wrong with me. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand. Like, people was like, well, what's your type or what are you attracted to? And I don't understand attraction. So when I ran into Arrow Ace, it clicked. And not like it would have been, I can't imagine what it would have been like if I was homosexual. But to understand that I wasn't broken, that I wasn't damaged, that there are other people out there like me, even if it's just 7%, was just so heartening. And, I found my tribe. And not that I wanted to other people, but I understand now the euphoria of knowing who I am and knowing where I fit and just being able to give it a label. And it just means so much. And if you think that, everybody, I understand P-Town's a Christian, and I love all the Christians here. I'm not anti-theist. I want diversity of thought on my video. I am a diversity inclusion champion. I'm an HR director. So my goal is to get people of every race, every sexuality, every not gender, but generation, to be able to work together. It's difficult, but it's so rewarding. If we just take time to understand that there's no such thing as a degenerate, they're just different human beings, and we're all along a lot of different spectrums. And it's not a poison because there isn't a supposed to be. And if you believe in a God that created something, you have to trust and know that your God knows what he created and that he's working within his own framework, and stop trying to demonize people for speaking up about who they are. We just need to learn, love, and affirm each other's value. Full stop. And Pitan, if you have any concerns about chat moderation, please find me in Discord or Twitter after the show. And I'm going to shut up and mute, and you guys can talk about what all this stuff here.
Yeah, I wanted to just say that that it's the same situation as when we culturally started accepting left-handed people, right? It used to be if you were left-handed, you had to try your damnedest to be right-handed because you weren't being left-handed was sinister, right? It meant you were a shady person, and that stigma hung around for centuries until in the mid 1900s when it started to be more socially acceptable to be left-handed. All of a sudden, you see this spike. Actually, I can show it to you. Hold on, let me move this one out and put this one up. In the population from 1900. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put on you to have to shuffle everything around.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. You see. Did you see the rise in the number of left-handed people reporting themselves to be left-handed as it becomes more and more socially acceptable to be left-handed, to where it plateaus about right around 12 to 14% of the population is left-handed. Right around, actually, say right around 12%. So that kind of plateaus out. Where is it going to plateau out with the LGBTQ community? We don't know. 30% is the prediction. So we'll see if that's what happens. But it's right on track to what we expect from a species like ours. So
yeah, and which is fine, and it's normal. Mm-hmm. And I think that I do remember having P-Town's point of view, mm-hmm. And I think that as we move forward as a society, we're gonna have fewer views like these, and it'll just be normal. And they're going to find some way to fit that into their religion as well. Gurr, I'm sorry. I feel like I cut you off too.
Oh no, not at all. I was just gonna say, Bre, I thought that was a fucking great comparison of left-handed people, because fucking Bill Maher had said some, just some BS about, oh yeah, the percentage of LGBTQ plus people keeps going up and up and up each year. Therefore, if we take this to its logical conclusion, we'll all be, in his words, gay by the year 2026 or some shit like that. And it's like, dude, it's just that people are okay. Like, they've always existed. There's always been those outside of the quote unquote range of normal that have existed, but couldn't say so because of oppression, persecution, and or just straight up murder or bullying.
You're taught to hate that part of yourself from a very young age. If you have any kind of queerness to you at all, you're taught that. I was very effeminate growing up, and that was essentially. I don't want to disparage my parents too much. That was beaten out of me, though. I mean, I'm just gonna lay it out there like that. It was pretty aggressively beaten out of me. So I think that it's always been a lot of the population that's been queer in some way, but unfortunately they were from a very young age pushed into this role where they thought it was shameful to be who they were, to feel the way they did about their self and their identity, and they just hang on to that for their entire life. It's sad, really.
That's a good point, because I'm thinking of just societal pressure, beating it, quote unquote, out of them. But I didn't even think about that yet, because when you have the family dynamic of mom and dad, if they find out this thing about me, then they're going to kick me out of the house, or other stuff like that. Because as for me, a straight cis dude, when I started to learn that, man, I'm really attracted to girls, I felt awful for that, because my parents taught me that, if you just look at a woman with any lustful eyes, any naughty thoughts, you're damned. And in retrospect, when I think about that, I think, man, I felt so much guilt and condemnation. If I was gay or queer or anything like that, that guilty feeling would have been amplified tenfold. And that's what it's just like, God damn, I couldn't imagine feeling even more guilty for being quote unquote normal to their eyes. But anyways, good points, Bre. That's all I'm saying.
Well, this one's funny. Blessed be he wants to know if I have self-constraint.
Stupid. Sorry.
I'm going to say no, because I'm a grown-ass woman who also takes care of her business, and I will, if I get an STD, if I get a baby, if I just get an orgasm, I'm going to deal with all those things my way, and I'm not going to put that onto other people. So, me having self-constraint or restraint, whatever this means, is really no one's business. And
no, it means constraint.
Okay.
And on that note, autoerotic asphyxiation is dangerous.
Yes, don't do that.
This is true.
Do not
you
do
need
that,
someone
please.
to be somebody to be safe with you if you're going to participate in any kind of BDSM activities.
You're right, like a
I do not do BDSM.
Gagging, choking, any kind of potentially dangerous activities like autoerotic asphyxiation. Do with a partner. Don't do them alone.
And you can
call Gurr. Actually, everybody in the side chat can call Gurr, and he will video chat with you while you do it.
This is partially true. Partially, if you're wearing latex or leather, I will watch.
Wow. Okay.
I missed you so much, Gurr. I swear.
And I just want to say, we've only watched 2 minutes and 41 seconds.
I want to be clear. I blame Maya.
I'm going to shut up until the next thing comes around.
Only 15 years old, is already on her way to being a major superstar. Looks like next harvest will be even better.
So that whole episode is about Britney Spears being completely destroyed as a human being because she was a young celebrity who was then sexualized.
She's totally lip syncing.
She doesn't
Fucking
have any
leave Britney
lips.
alone.
And so there they are, talking about.
Leave Britney alone.
That part. So that shit is fucking funny.
I hope her book's doing well. Though.
Sorry.
I hope Britney's book's doing well. I just want to say that.
Yeah. Also, I want to say, Miley Cyrus did not go the way Britney Spears did. Miley Cyrus knows exactly what she's doing. She
agreed.
At least from what I've seen. Maybe there's things I'm unaware of, but yeah.
Miley's a super huge ally too. By the way, I mean,
yes,
yeah, crazy protective of the LGBTQ community. So that's
as we all should be.
Yeah, that's probably why Ben doesn't like her, though. Ben doesn't like any women who are in control of their own shit, though.
The whole thing, though, like, one of the things is, like, Britney wasn't really in control of her stuff. Like, she did get taken advantage of and had
agreed
issues that, like,
true.
Miley didn't have the same trajectory. Like, just didn't. Also, the other point that's being made in this clip that he seems to think is like not a point that the left acknowledges. Everybody is aware of the fact that young girls are over-sexualized and young women celebrities are like crazy over-sexualized.
Emma Watson of Harry Potter, she said the day before her 18th birthday that there's a lot of fucking people and the paparazzi taking pictures of her crotch, and they waited, a few hours later to when she turned 18 to publish those pictures. From her own mouth, she said this, and I just thought, God damn, I can't imagine what it's like to be a celebrity, but I definitely can imagine what it's like to be a minor, especially a minor, who's a girl in the spotlight. Like, that shit is fucked up. So for Ben to be like, oh yeah, I predicted that, Miley Cyrus would be sexualized or adulted. It's like, well, that's, I mean, it sucks. I agree that it sucks, but like, shit, like when you're a kid in Hollywood, unfortunately that's going to happen. And I do agree that shouldn't be the case. Now, obviously, once the child is an adult, if he or she or they want to express themselves however they want, go for it. But yeah, it's just weird that it's unfortunate that kids get sexualized. That's all I'm saying, basically.
Sure. Yeah.
Also, getting adulted is called growing up.
That's a good point.
No, it's when it's forced upon you. It's adulted. When you choose it, it's growing up. I didn't.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I was adulted then because I didn't choose to grow up.
I did not. I want to still be watching Ninja Turtles every Saturday
and
morning.
I never did.
Yes.
What? Yeah. No, fuck that shit. I need my Brie every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like, how do you expect me to function?
It's a little.
This is how I live my life. I'm a simple man with simple goals.
And
I've accomplished those goals.
Fire the laser.
I will never accomplish any of my goals. God bless you.
Boom.
Pew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's shirt.
I have
shirt in my wardrobe.
I like that. That's awesome.
I gave Left-Handed Jedi just because he's been such a great ally to the stream. His own emote, but they are non-Jewish lasers.
Oh, they're kosher.
Oh, right.
They're kosher lasers.
Kosher lasers. There you go. All right, let's go.
Tippy bar.
God, that was going to happen to Miley Cyrus. Okay, I have to say, easy call. I wrote a book in 2005 called Porn Generation, in which I actively discussed the reality, which is that every single major...
Real quick, when we were researching for this video, and I talked about it with these guys, I looked up, because I didn't believe that Ben Shapiro was old enough to have written a book as an adult in 2005. Ben Shapiro was actually only...
Poll. How old is Ben Shapiro?
Ooh.
Do not Google and cheat. How old is Ben Shapiro?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I'm glad I got that in.
I was about to blow it.
Oh,
that's something I've been known to do from
okay,
time to
so
time.
how old is Ben? And so we have to give
I'm guessing he was 17 in 2005.
Saying 20 to 30, or do we want to go lower than that?
No one.
You thought he was 7.
20.
Look, he talks like he's 7 years old. Actually, he talks like he's like a 12-year-old in a
45-year-old's body.
Like a gaming server is what it sounds like.
Gaming server.
Like a teenage boy.
I've got to know, Bre, how old was he when this supposed book came out? I
can't say because he just told you the year, and that would give you the math. What year did he say
he wrote it?
He said 2005.
Doc, a tap, you can rewind it for him.
Rewind it, please.
Okay, I have to say, easy call. I wrote a book in 2005 called Porn Generation, in which I actively discussed.
In 2005, I was 25.
And he would have been, according to your previous estimate,
not born.
23.
I was 23.
But how not born, Maya? How not born? Okay, this is why we have negative numbers.
So his mom might have been graduating high school when
9 years.
Wrote this book.
he would have been negative 9 years old. Okay.
No. Okay. No. There's no way.
Okay.
Negative 9.
Yes, because he is now 7.
Yeah, if he's now 7,
I follow.
Then from that, because that's 18.
Okay.
That's 18 years.
Yeah. He was negative 9 when he wrote the book. D, final answer. But people think now he's between. 50% of the chat is saying that, and that's 30 votes, are saying that he is now, because we're asking now how old has Ben, that he's between 30 and 40.
7 isn't an option.
7 is not an option.
How do I get to 7?
Nobody except me believes that he is 7. So I'm not going to ask them.
I killed Earl said 17, so that's another person
17.
saying. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 17.
18, 44.
Wait, I said
40. No, 18. 18. I said 18, so.
I think I said 17.
I have some people that like my non-Jewish space laser. I like
kosher
Thanks,
laser.
Guys.
If
kosher laser,
I don't want to vote because I know
laser.
the answer. Can I? If I press close poll, it doesn't end the poll, right? Because I'm as a mod.
Not you. I can't. Okay. I don't think I can close the poll.
I like the way you said that. Not you.
It didn't just close it.
No, because all I get is end poll. That's my only option is end poll. So
okay.
Nobody loves you.
I wanted to make sure because I feel like I used to be able to double click on it and it would disappear, and that wasn't happening. Anyway, okay.
Bad Mama is here.
The reality, which is that every single
lately.
I love Big Bad Mama. Good to see you.
She is really dunking on Kent, and
she's
Kent
so
is
good
doing
at
a lot of dunk-worthy shit.
I love her.
Yeah, him. I believe he is him pronouns. But this isn't going to close at all. So most people are saying that he's currently between 30 and 40. What is the answer?
Fuck. I forget what my original answer was.
Let me see here.
I was guessing he was 17 in 2005. I don't know what that would be.
You're thinking he's 17 in 2005?
This is hilarious, actually.
40.
But he was born January 15th, 1984. So he has only been 40 for 2 weeks.
He changed categories in the last couple of weeks.
in the last 2 weeks.
So So actually, that was probably a bad poll because everybody who got 30 to 40 and 40 to 50 were right.
No, it's a great poll because they were technically wrong, which is the only kind of wrong that matters. And the other people were technically right, which is the best and only kind of right that matters.
This is postmodernism. This is what
I feel like we need a Futurama
Right,
clip
so in
for that.
2005, he was 21 when he wrote that book. Holy shit!
God damn.
Female Disney star was going to be adulted. So, yes, they get credit for it, but then again, so do I. We'll get to more from South Park. First, I want to talk to you about Daily Wire's most trusted privacy partner and the Premier's sponsor, 3 extra months today.
No, we got to
hold on.
Ben
Fuck
YT.
Ben Shapiro and anybody that
YT
would
get
pay
3
money
extra
to
months for free.
listen to him talk.
Listen. Let him show the link, okay?
Okay. No.
Express
okay. Okay. While he's talking, I will do my own ad.
Yeah.
You don't think people should go to Ben Whitey?
No. What I think
Ben
is
Whitey?
what I think is that I need
Ben Whitey.
One more member is needed so that I can get another emoji. So that's what I think. So I think you should pay me money and not ExpressVPN to give Ben.
All right, hold on. I can do a little bit of that. Right,
No,
I forgot about my reparations, Maya.
Look,
Dude.
Slicking around later. Look, we are doing a stream right now. God damn it! Would you stop giving Ben money?
I'm not giving you money. I'm giving you money. I'm not giving Ben money. I'm giving you money. God damn.
Get started to protect your data today.
Ben Whitey.
Your data is nobody else's business. ExpressVPN.com/BenYT. Get 3 extra months
Okay,
today.
Jedi is more of a man than you.
Look, you don't want to end up like the spokesman for Subway.
Visit can be logged by the admin of that network.
Wait,
It's still
stop.
true even when you're in
Stop it.
incognito mode.
Stop.
Activity stays private.
Left-handed
ExpressVPN works on all your
Jedi.
devices. It's super easy to use. YT get 3 extra months for free.
Weasel.
ExpressVPN.com/today.
Hey, look, you don't want
All right.
Subway, do you?
Look, I literally can't have this plane. We are not.
The extra months today.
We don't have enough.
I'm done. I'm done.
We need to have 1,000 to play ads on here. So if you want to keep your cult, you will stop playing Shapiro ads. God damn it.
These were ExpressVPN ads that were telling people to go to Ben Whitey, okay? And
yeah, but you got to stop playing the ads.
Ben Whitey.
Why? T.
Fine. When we get channel strikes and taken down, your cult goes with it. So, I don't know what you're going to have to explain that to your therapist.
And that's why I have 8 backup channels.
How many of them are monetized, Weasel?
Oh, snap.
Give me a week. I'm white. I can do anything.
All you gotta do is find some Jordan Peterson clips, upload them, say alpha male, bam, automatically.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't like this son of a bitch. Grr, entertain the chat with jokes and tricks.
Oh,
white man.
I'm on the spot. What did the turtle say to the rabbit? Oh, actually, I don't have a punchline to that. Yeah, slow down, kids.
Why? How the fuck do white people rule the world? This is insane to me.
I
privilege mostly.
But where does the privilege come from? I
mean, it's clearly not higher IQ.
Guns, germs, and steel. It's a confluence of domesticatable animals and certain crops that happen to be also domesticatable.
Actually, I think you might be onto something because only white people would be like,
hey, look, you don't want to end up like the spokesman for Subway, do you?
No, I don't.
You just use a term that excludes women from an occupation?
Okay, let's back up.
Ah! Did you just say spokesman instead of spokesperson when women are just as capable of selling sandwiches as anyone? Are you purposefully trying to use words that assert your male privilege?
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to frame you for raping Butters.
And then we get to a PC principle.
That I love everything about that clip. Do you know how long you would spend in prison if what he just did to Cartman was on video?
My favorite part is that again, Eric Cartman, being the champion of reason for the right wing, is in there telling, like, being honest and saying, yeah, I was trying to frame you for R-wording this child.
Yeah.
And he's the hero of conservatism.
Yeah. Oh,
he's their voice. They proudly tout him as their voice.
PC Principal is an excellent character.
I love PC Principal.
Because, like, PC Principal, fundamentally, from all of the episodes I've seen, which is a lot of them now with PC Principal, I like PC Principal. PC Principal is trying to be a good person. Cartman is not trying to be a good person.
Cartman is your crazy uncle on Thanksgiving.
But,
Cartman is
fictional
supposed to have the worst. He's supposed to have the worst takes that they can think of. They sit around. Trey and Matt have talked about this on interviews before. They sit around and talk about the worst possible way to portray this kid's behavior, like the worst things that he could do. If you want to know, ask what's his name, the kid whose parents he killed.
Kenny.
Scott. Scott something.
Fuck,
I can't remember, but yeah, no, he got his parents to like get shot by the dude and then fed to a donkey, and then he turned his parents into Scott Tetterman. Scott Tetterman,
yes.
And he made Scott Tetterman eat his own parents in a chili, and then mocked him for being a crybaby in front of it when his favorite band Radiohead came, and then Radiohead mocked him for being a crybaby for crying because he cannibalized his own parents in the chili.
I do remember that. Yeah,
that's their hero. That's who they want. That's who Ben Shapiro thinks is the good guy. I imagine when they watch Sunny, they think Dennis is the hero too.
Exactly.
With his freaking assault kit in his trunk.
It's
like, who doesn't keep rope and
Just a Lord of Fools with $5 to say, I love how Tap is getting dividends on his reparations in the form of a whole ass cult. Shaking my head.
That's funny.
I mean, I make excellent financial decisions.
I wouldn't shake your head too much, Doc. She's holding that Colt right over top of it.
It's very culty-like. Diet Colt.
Well, Jeff says, let me know when Weasel posts a vid about Peterson and I'll swoop in and steal it.
Oh, yeah, of course you will. Actually, Jefferson Spatchcock is the reason I don't stream anymore. Because I'm like, he's going to see who I'm responding to, make a better response to it, and get twice as many views. I'm just kidding. I love Jefferson.
Yeah.
Jeff is awesome.
Yo,
everybody
come back on the
Jeff.
show.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we schedule Jeff for like the next available show, like right now?
Yeah, Jeff, hit me up. We'll talk.
It's in like a couple of months, I think. But we had such a great time last
You
time.
should put him on with Grr so that they have to confront their differences.
We're two formerly homeschooled people. We do have a certain vibe. But
I
no,
don't know.
after
Like,
the
you know
stream,
what? I would love
done.
to get you and Jeff on and like dissect Doug.
You know who I want to have on?
That would be so much fun.
Grr, have you talked about Doug ever?
No, it's been a minute, but I saw Derek of Myth Vision put out a video recently. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the only videos in this niche of YouTube that I had watched, and Doug made an appearance where he's like, "Why is racism bad?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Of course you would say why is racism like what the." Anyways,
I'm Doug. I only have bad takes now.
I couldn't believe it, but at the same time I could believe it. But anyways, yeah.
Let's get this Shapipo on the road.
Yeah.
Who definitely signifies the left. Again, it just and then we get to a PC Principal who definitely signifies the left. Again, it just he would be president of the United States now. PC Principal. Actually, he.
Okay, what we're about to hear is a remarkably bad take.
He's basically just Andrew Cuomo. The real prophecy would have been if he had become governor of New York, killed all of the old people, and then been ousted for sexual harassment.
How does that map on a PC principle?
This is a lot.
So
There's so
PC
much
Principle
wrong.
is like he's a parody of PC Principle. It's
Yes,
it's not that deep.
Assistant Vice Principal Strong Woman.
Yeah.
I forget about
Yeah.
strong woman. Can I just say, in the way that they paint Osama Bin Laden here,
It's hilarious.
part of me is kind of like, you know what? I agree. You know what? If I was Osama Bin Laden, fuck. Like, when you see the shit that's on TV here in the early 2000s, like,
like this is, right here, they're explaining why Osama Bin Laden, and they're using Snooki to do it.
I love South Park Snooki.
This part is funny. I'm not gonna lie.
She's like a mythical creature. She's like a weird gremlin type thing.
Yes.
Exactly, Jeff.
Animated Snooki.
Who is that?
Wait a minute.
Oh shit!
Hey, can anybody else let us know? Is Tap too loud?
Am I way too loud? I can.
You sound alright to me, but
Yeah, you sound great to me, but that never matters.
So the joke here.
Oh fuck! I was muted. I was just talking shit to Weasel, and I was muted.
The idea that what they're doing here is like this predicted the future, right? So is Ben Shapiro saying that Al Qaeda hijacked a fleet of commercial airliners and attacked the U.S. in real life? Can we fact check that? Because I don't think that's ever actually happened.
It's never actually happened. I don't need to fact check that.
Why is it on this list?
To be clear, wait, hold on. What was the question? If the question was how has Al Qaeda ever attacked the United States with a fleet of airliners, technically the answer is yes.
Just
But not since
like this.
More than one.
More than one. Sure.
Three is a fleet, and they totally did that. And also, it was four, but one of them got down.
Right. Yeah.
So they literally did do that.
If three is a fleet, then they did four. So
right,
sure. But it wasn't.
Obviously, that's the reference point that this is going for. But this is supposed to be predicting the future. So this would have been saying that these are episodes that predicted the future. Not that predicted, like, in this, I don't think this came out before 9/11, did it? And that would be impressive, but...
Another thing, though, this is what Ben Shapiro conveniently leaves out. He leaves out the fact that it was under Obama and Biden that Osama Bin Laden was caught and executed. But just throw that out there, you'll see it. He won't acknowledge that part. He doesn't want to acknowledge his team losing.
Right.
It's Al Qaeda! Ah!
They're trying to fight against New Jersey.
Our country's getting back to normal, and we owe it all to Osama Bin Laden. On this day, let us all remember that no people on this earth are really enemies, only folks with differences.
Tango's down, tango's down.
We got him!
We got him!
But again, Ben Shapiro does not acknowledge that the execution of Osama bin Laden, be it for better or for worse, was done under a democratic leadership.
Obama.
He will not say it. Yep, exactly. He never brings it up once.
Tango's down.
We got him!
Yeah, that is in fact what happened to Osama.
That's the actual audio.
This
goes back to my point about the editor being on our side and just making him look like a troll.
Right.
You know, I
So,
see that. I see that now.
Yeah.
They called that one.
Hi,
okay.
I'm Gerald. Kyle Broflau.
So I don't know. Did you turn your?
I did now.
I'm
I
hearing
turned
like my
myself down
eardrums so
somewhat.
bad.
I turned myself down somewhat. It may also have been the parts where I was at like literally like leaning into the mic.
I don't know why that's funny. Eat that mic.
Gorgeous.
Here we go. All right. Thanks, Earl.
It's okay
I like her.
Husky's father?
Have a seat. I've been talking with your child, and we're going to be giving him 2 weeks detention.
What's this about, Kyle?
Your son said some things to a 4th grade girl that frankly make me want to puke. Now that I'm principal, I'm not going to allow anyone at the school to be made feel unsafe and harassed.
What did he say?
You'll have to excuse my language. I don't think Caitlyn Jenner is a hero.
Paul?
Real quick.
Or is that too hot? That might be too hot.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just remember.
Is Caitlyn Jenner a hero?
Just remember, though, despite one's opinions on this particular topic, is irrelevant when you concentrate on. He said, "I can't make jokes about trans people anymore because I'll get canceled." But then notice what he says in just a few moments' time after this pausing. Okay, that's it on my end.
Also, #coolface right here.
I'm just going to point out here that for this exact thing, I was manhandled on national television. Literally, a dude put his hand on the back of my neck and threatened to send me home in an ambulance for saying that exact thing, that Caitlyn Jenner is not a hero.
Back to the brain scans.
No, this is what I have the clip for.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Let's
Oh, snap. All right.
Okay. Let me pull it up. Sorry, I didn't have it ready. I did have it ready, and then I switched to something else. There we go.
Remember, he can't make jokes anymore.
All right. You're up.
Is she brave? Of course she's brave.
Can you turn it up a little bit?
All those years invested is this sports legend. Good try. You have to bifurcate it. Did she deserve the honor? Probably not. Is she brave? Of course she's brave. All those years invested is this sports legend. To come out transgender is horribly difficult. It is the most difficult thing you can do. I've been overseas. I've flown helicopter missions, surveillance missions. I've been shot, stabbed. Being brave is being yourself. And being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do. Did she deserve the award? Yes.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
because
it's
that's
her. You're not being polite to the pronoun.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that his brain structure is male. It turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is irrelevant to the question of his biological sex.
I don't agree with that. I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train. She wants to be called she. I'm going to call her she. I just have a problem with the message and the messenger.
So let's I'm going to do two things. I want to reiterate what Zoe said, which is the bifurcation of the courage to come forward after a lifetime as a male and a certain kind of a male versus did she deserve this award? Listen, the awards.
Hey, Bre, can we move up a little bit because I don't want to. It's headline news, so I don't want to get. I don't want them to. Yeah, can we get to the point where she's talking directly to Ben?
You're male or female.
Gender.
With gender
identity. Go ahead. No, so
especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you like to discuss the genetics? Or
no,
what are your genetics?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well,
no, yeah, and yeah, okay. So I don't know. It's headline news, and I haven't checked out this clip, so I don't want to get copyright strike. But
yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. That's all. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, this is the part that he's talking about, and I think you did a great job of the lead in what they were talking about. It wasn't. Nobody pulled Ben Shapiro's kid into the principal's office, and his kid didn't say in a classroom "Oh my God, Caitlyn Jenner." Something
is not a hero.
He was intentionally misgendering Caitlyn and refused to be open to the fact that maybe he was not thinking about the topic correctly.
Well, also,
he's purposely misgendered Zoe too.
Yes. He's in a confrontation with Zoe and being like, "Let's do a test on all of your stuff," and being like, "I suddenly have the right to subject you to any sort of jump monkey jump test."
Right,
that
but
I
if
want
you
you
or
to go
I
through.
were sitting there, we would just get we hit the standard of male and femaleness So we don't have to, go through all these hoops and whistles and probes and tests to just the common courtesy of being called she and he.
And remember, Ben Shapiro just said a few moments ago in this clip that, I can't make jokes anymore, but South Park can. And nothing that he says here sounds like a joke to me. It sounds like he's being dead fucking serious.
Yeah, he's being rude and disrespectful.
Exactly.
He's like, South Park's jokes are real, is basically what he's saying.
Yeah, that seemed,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, South Park makes jokes about the left and the right, and neither, to point out absurdities that are permeating the zeitgeist. Ben Shapiro's being an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
There's a difference. That's all I'm saying.
And again, he's like, well, I can't tell jokes anymore about trans people, even though I've never heard him tell jokes about trans people. All I've heard him do is shit on trans people.
Yeah, you're not a comedian, Ben. What are you talking about? Jokes.
Right. Good to see you, Dr. Kip Davis. Sorry, just
hey, Dr. Kip. Why do they call him Dr. Kill? Was that a thing that a meme that I missed?
I mean, it might be because L and P are right next to each other on the keyboard, so it could literally be.
Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
That.
Yeah.
What about in biblical text? Are Q and P next to each other?
That's a good.
Is that how ancient keyboards worked?
Is it biblical? Biblically accurate keyboards.
Yeah.
How many keys would they have, Dr. Kip? Tell us.
I'm not gonna lie. When I try to go to sleep at night, I think of a bunch of random shit, and one of my thoughts is, over in China, what does that keyboard look like? Because obviously, it's not the keyboard that's in front of us here. So I just wonder how many keys are on the keyboard, and how does that work?
A lot of the times, it's a lot more like the keyboard you have in front of you than you think. Like
wow, this is so off topic.
I know that. I'm sorry. I'm just
all right. Yeah, fair enough. Enough.
Okay.
Chinese keyboards.
Yeah, like I think about like how ours is.
Holy shit! The stream, the goddamn stream.
So yeah, I feel you, South Park.
This kind of transphobic and bigoted hate speech isn't gonna fly here, bro! I thought we were all on board that Caitlyn Jenner is an amazing, beautiful woman who had the exquisite bravery of a butterfly flying against the wind. And then this comes out of people's mouths!
See, this is a myth, though.
I'm sure...
This is a myth because people never came up to bat for Caitlyn Jenner as a...
never. Like, no one on the left ever idolized her or thought she was great.
Saying she's brave, by the way, does not mean you think she's great. You can be brave and be a terrible person.
Yes.
Like there were a lot of brave soldiers who were bigots that fought in wars.
Right.
Exactly. God damn.
No, and this is just so crazy. Like, I think he's going to say something in a little bit where it's just like, oh, this is how crazy the left is. But I'm like, she's just universally hated by both sides. I don't know why he's dying on this hill, but it's what he does, I guess.
Well, and it's the same thing with South Park. Again, South Park is hated by everyone, but for whatever reason, the Daily Wire is like, oh, well, let's just highlight all the times they shit on the left, or seemingly shit on the left, because some of the times it's just out of context. And at the end of the episode, it's like, no, this is not them crapping on the left, because Grr is hot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you mind if we sexually harass you, Grr?
I don't mind at all. I'm open to it. That felt really wrong to say out loud. My God. Anyways, I'm just saying they're cherry picking. This is what Ben Shapiro was doing. Anyways.
Okay, play button.
Just referring to Bruce Jenner as a person and not trying to say anything against...
You got a problem, bro?
No.
Because it's not Bruce Jenner, it's Caitlyn, and she's a stunning woman!
Yep.
Yep.
That shit is funny. That's fucking funny.
Jenner, it's Caitlyn, and she's a stunning woman!
Yep. That didn't stop.
Sniffing his own fart right there.
Holy, what was that?
Was that a zipper? Like a fly?
It was him sniffing his own farts. Literally.
Yeah. The editor's like, yep.
That was just the beginning, man. Now J.K. Rowling is on the chopping block because she says women exist. So all parody is
real quick.
And the person's like, let me just show you what a chopping block actually is.
Okay, so this is what I don't get here. Okay, so, what the fuck her name is? J.K. Rowling.
Joanne, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the right hated her, at least in my neck of the woods, because she's teaching kids
devil worshiping.
Witchcraft. Yes, devil worshiping.
Oh yeah,
And then the non-religious right hated her because she was pushing feminism. As soon as she started shitting on trans people, suddenly, she's a hero.
Yeah,
she's being canceled because people are saying, giving her like actual criticism on Twitter, and that means she's canceled, even though she's got $1 billion fucking dollars.
And they literally, she literally calls it a witch hunt, right? Like says, this is a witch hunt against me, and
I just imagine like the corporealization of the character that is Hermione Granger would just completely tear her a new one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Hermione is like absurdistly like politically correct. With the whole thing with the elves is like meant to convey that.
Right. And she would seems like the character would defend trans people's rights.
100%. 100 trillion %. Yes. I mean, the character is fictional, and real people are like complicated and sometimes in bad, terrible, contradictory ways, as well as other ways. But.
Didn't she just, as of like 1 at most 2 years ago, come out with a book about how the main character in her book was getting canceled because she dared speak the truth about, I can't even remember what it was, but
it was like a trans serial rapist or something.
Oh yes,
yeah,
and it's like
antagonist to the story.
It's you're making a character about a trans, just terrible thing, and then you're like, but I'm not transphobic, even though I say all kind of shit that shits on the trans community. It's like, how can you be like, are you being deliberately stupid right now? You know?
So, like Rowling, though, if you look at her work under any scrutiny, right, looking back at it as an adult now, you can go back and see that there's some problematic tropes with a lot of her characters are just racial stereotypes and things like that. For the goblins, for instance, the little greedy banker guys are very Ben Shapiro like.
Oh yeah.
Look at his tiny hands, though. I hadn't noticed that till just now. Look how tiny his little hands are, and and they're even up in the foreground.
All right, Ben Shapiro has a tiny dick. You heard it here first, kids.
Tiny hands means tiny gloves. Isn't that right, Dr. Weasel? Am I right?
I mean, my hand is bigger than my face. Oh, no, I have cancer.
I'm talking about my hands. What are you talking about? Anyways, I have big socks that, depending on what size.
My shoe size is actually it hit a peak. And
wow, this is so off topic, though.
Essentially, just prophecy now. And so South Park is good at parody, which means that they are effectively prophets. Well, there you are, South Park, which, again, has said many transgressive things in the past. They were meant to be jokes at the time.
Actually, Titan has
all your network data and reroutes it through a network of secure servers. So your private online
damn it.
I heard Titan, and then I heard Ben's voice.
He's just really trying to look. If there's no more Bad Science Sundays, you guys get the pickaxes and the torches, and you go after Tapioca Weasel.
To be clear, I don't think ExpressVPN is going to go after me. Like that's just
no. It's part of if you had an actual channel and made any content, you would know you have to have 1,000 before you can have what do you call it? 1,000
Yeah,
subs.
monetization.
Yeah, before you can start to show
sponsors
on your stream.
Yeah, this isn't our sponsor. This is Ben's sponsor that we are reacting to.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
It absolutely matters.
Can you show the video that Titan went through so much trouble to get this for us, and I would hate for him to come after you.
I will show it, but if this video has magnets, I will probably do nothing about it.
Hey, Dr. Weasel, speaking of magnets, how the oh god damn it! I see where this is going.
That's not my video.
Louder.
Atheist.
Yep. Hold on.
Is that as loud as it goes?
Oh no! Wait, hold on.
I see
Damn
where
it.
this is going.
That's not my video.
Sorry.
This fucks up everything.
What are we doing?
That's not my video.
We're trying to get him to hit
words.
the pause button. Hit the pause button. Now hit the volume button and turn that bitch all the way up.
It's all the way up. Paul Gia is a quiet guy. It's not my fault.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
No.
Just wanted to make sure.
Look at that beautiful face right there.
It's a beautiful face.
Aww.
That's not my video. That's not my words. It's not an argument. So your many examples of how Paula Gia just wants this in is some video from a person I've never heard of.
God damn.
No, keep going. Wait, was that all of it?
That's the whole clip. It's only 16. I can go.
He turned it off.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, that is
now it's the whole clip. So the whole video, rather. So we have chat. We have another 2 hours. Let's do this.
And is some video from a person I've never heard of.
God damn it.
Hey, your up and coming moment is being said. No one knows who you fucking are, Grr. I just want you to know you heard it on
Apologia does not know about my existence. Confirmed.
Oh my god, that's embarrassing and funny and really cool all at the same time.
I love it. But now I want to know. Who's the guy responding to me thinking they were responding? That was boring.
I can't. My problem was when you started talking, I wasn't sure if it was you here, if it was you there, and I was like, which is why I paused it for a moment. I was like, oh wait, no, that was.
Is this our girl or that girl?
Right.
Yeah, BS said it correctly. It's like 1 minute it's laughing and my ego just suddenly breaking.
let's take a moment to do an inventory of the side chat here.
Okay,
we got who do we got in side chat? We got Tom, we got Maya Atkinson. I don't know who that is.
Maya,
we've got Neptune dude here.
Uranus,
Lord Red Fang,
Blue
Tom, Icarus. Go Icarus. Bree! What up, Bree?
Woo! I'm there.
I don't know who this Maya person is and this Titan
Maya
like
troublemaker.
Maya.
Major troublemaker. Oh my god. Vesta, you are 2 hours late or an hour and 50 minutes late. We've been having a good old time though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, Hoosier Buddy's here too, lurking.
Yay. All right. No, that was fun. We had 2 videos, but who knew it was going to take us 2 hours to go through just one?
Yeah,
I had a suspicion.
It's not that shocking to me either. I do want to know. Was there any? So all 4 of us watched both videos. Was there any particular clip from the second video that we would like to bring up? Because I think we could do that. It wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I know. We are really. Oh, I never showed that to her. I gave it to you just in case we went too short.
The second one's not nearly as good as the first one. Maybe we'll have to do a follow up. And
now I'm curious though.
If we ever find Grr again?
I do. Yeah, I remember. I do remember there's a bit where he says that polar bears are doing just totally fine now.
Yeah, which I pulled up all kinds of statistics on.
Oh right, yeah, we got to do the polar bear one.
Okay, I can pull that one up. Let me just find that. So it's the first one. It's
beautiful.
You'll see. You'll remember. I gotta share the thing. Hold on. That's my bad, guys. I'm a professional streamer. Sorry, God.
Getting late, boys. Why don't you get in the car and I'll drive you all home?
Okay, Mr. Marsh.
Be safe.
Hello?
Hello, this is Al Gore.
Oh, man. Hi, Mr. Gore.
I was the vice president.
I know.
Can you and your friends make it to an emergency man-bear-pig meeting tomorrow morning? I have some evidence he could be in this area.
Look, I'm sorry, but we're all kind of busy.
Oh, I get it. You don't believe me either.
No, it's not that.
Yes, it is. Nobody believes me. I'm trying to warn everybody and nobody takes me serial.
He's just getting chucked into the center of the galaxy. You see, editors on our side.
What's
Go,
funny?
be gone.
What's so funny is, yes, South Park did come out with an episode that was basically mocking the idea or subject of climate change, and then
It was mocking Al Gore.
Yeah,
but yes,
and Al Gore.
I have a quote from the guys from South Park, from Matt Stone. It says, "We just felt like all of our episodes, this one hasn't aged very well," Stone says of Man, Bear, Pig. And we came up with a funny idea how to use Man, Bear, Pig as a parable. I always felt like if we were going to rewrite that or comment on it to or a tone, whatever you want to call it, it's in kind. In other words, we didn't want to say in some interview, well, we don't feel so great about that episode. It just doesn't feel good, as fuck that. Well, we'll do a two-parter. And it's not just a toning. We're beating ourselves up pretty good. We could do an entire season of toning. It's been fucking 22 years. We're pretty different people by now.
Yes, and they did do a follow-up to that episode where they acknowledged that they're still poking at Al Gore,
In
which is
universe,
fine.
yeah. They still do it in universe because Man Bear Pig is a real threat, right?
Yes, and they acknowledge that their take on this was incorrect, like factually, and so like this is one reason that I could still fuck with South Park is because there have been times where they do realize, okay, the episode we made 10 years ago, we realized we were wrong. And so, I mean, again, they're not anybody's side by any means, but they do at least acknowledge when they're wrong, at least in so far that I've seen.
Yeah, they acknowledged that they were wrong about climate change, is that quote that I was just reading, because the follow-up episode, they're like, yeah, Man Bear Pig turns out to be real and is a real threat, and the people even say, ironically, well, Man Bear Pig is real, sure, but what can we really do about it?
Yeah, that whole scene of them in the diner with Man Bear Pig just tearing up shit, and they're like, well, yeah, it's true, but what can we do now? We'll just sit here and get mauled to death. Like, that scene is fucking genius, like from a writer's perspective. Not that I'm a writer, but, you know, from a written perspective, it's just genius. But anyway.
Yeah, considering the hand they dealt themselves with it.
Well, because I remember arguing on the early internet and forums and stuff with people about climate change, and they would throw South Park memes at me about Man Bear Pig. And it's like, Jesus fucking... And once you get that, the conversation's over, because all they'll do is a meme at you. So it was an issue, and then to see them actually atone for that and say, you know what? we were fucking wrong about that.
Yeah.
I will be right back. 10 seconds. Be right back. I'm listening, though.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Can you play the rest of this clip, though?
Yeah, that's what we do.
One of the great episodes of South Park of all time. You have to be super serial about Man Bear Pig.
I'm super serial.
So the Man Bear Pig joke, for people who have not seen the full episode, is that Al Gore shows up in South Park declaring that global warming is going to cause the invasion of Man Bear Pig, a creature who is half man, half bear, and half pig. And it is all...
Now, for the record, he's half man and half bear pig?
Yeah. Okay.
an attempt at attention. This is when An Inconvenient Truth came out, which is that movie where he claimed that all the polar bears would be dead already. It's 2023. The polar bears are actually doing quite well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that was some flipped misinformation from
like this came out 9 months ago. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure even then they weren't doing quite well.
They're not doing that well.
This fact check of false claim global polar bear population has increased in recent decades was published in January 27th, 2023. Fact check false claim global polar bear population is increasing. On January 4th, Facebook post showed a graph that claims to chart the global polar bear population dating back to 1960. Polar bears 1960 to 2021 reads the text above the graph. Increasing, but they don't want you to know. The graph was shared around more than 500 times in 3 weeks. Oh, there goes my alarm. Our rating on that, of course, is false. Experts say that the rising tally in polar bears reflects an increased ability to track the bears, not an actual increase in population. The graph is based on various estimates of the global population. This includes unscientific estimates, extrapolations, and insufficient data sets, according to scientists. We can look at this map if you want. I can pull that up too. But let me continue just reading this real quick because that basically breaks it down right there. It's a misunderstanding of how the data is released, because we have new ways to track polar bears to allow us to track a greater number of polar bears at any given time. We have higher numbers of polar bears being tracked. It does not reflect the higher numbers of the population, and that's what they don't want you to know when they show you this graph. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so Ben Shapiro lies.
Yeah. There's a clip that chat inspired me to bring up, and I think we can.
Aquaman.
The water levels around the world rise by let's say 5 feet over the next 100 years. Say 10 feet by the next 100 years, and it puts
I'm sorry,
all the
real quick.
low-lying areas.
Bree has a.
Yeah, this is just
you.
This
I'm
is
sorry, I'm
just
just not noticing this.
The graph. I didn't know that was done up. Sorry, this is the graph for the polar bear population.
Oh, whoops.
When I was
Let me,
reading about
get
it's
this
okay.
out.
No, it's all right. This just shows where we're able to increase the tracking. And you look at the places where we've been able to track for a longer period of time, Alaska and the Hudson Bay area, that we've been able to really track individual polar bears for a long time. There's a noticeable decrease. Where in places where we are able to track them regularly, but in places where there's not, every place that's in a light gray on this is insufficient data because we just don't have the resources or the scientific manpower to track and count all these polar bears.
Did you just use a gendered expression? Did you just say manpower instead of person power?
Oh, yeah.
PC principal, Weasel.
PC principal's gonna come in here and.
Yeah, sure.
That is not true.
Yes, Lewis called you out.
That is not true. If it was true, actually, I wouldn't be back if that was true because that was only like 10 seconds.
Anyway, go ahead and bring up Aquaman. We're done with this.
Oh, I know the Aquaman clip. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I do anyway.
Hold up. Okay, there we go.
That all of the water levels around the world rise by let's say 5 feet over the next 100 years. Say 10 feet by the next 100 years, and it puts all the low-lying areas on the coast underwater, right? Which let's say all of that happens. You think that people aren't going to just sell their homes and move?
H bomber guy.
Just one small problem. Sell their houses to who, Ben? Fucking Aquaman!
H bomber guy. That dude just makes me go, God damn, I wish I could be just 10% as good as you. I mean, just 1%, really. God damn.
Oh, H bomber guy.
Yeah. he hasn't been coming up in my streams lately, but oh well. Grr. Normally around this time we're doing the who are you, where are you? I guess tell everybody who you are and what you do. Who you are and what they can expect when they come to your channel. And there's a lot of people in the chat that want to know if you have anything coming out.
Okay, so I did write and record a script for my main channel, the only channel that I use anymore, Grrmania. Not Grr Streams. Don't go to Grr Streams. It's dead. I just
you're gonna make everybody cry.
But I just haven't really felt like making a video for it, even though the audio is edited, recorded, written out, and all that good stuff. And then I had a even longer script, probably the longest script I've ever written, that's about politics. And I'm just so fucking. I just would rather bash my head through the wall than talk with, again, right wingers. I'm just having trouble just trying to spit it all out. But if I do make any more videos, it'll be on my Grrmania channel. It's usually where I just criticize Christianity primarily. There might be one or two political videos. Yeah. But if I do anything, it'll be on there.
All right, so you're just doing cameos and.
Are you still doing the calendar though?
No,
sexy girl calendar.
Not this year. I left that behind in 2023. Bre. Gosh, get with it. But no, I will say this: I was happy. I am happy to be here, but I don't see myself going on any other streams or putting out anything in the next couple of months at least. At least it's doubtful. Just because I am busy in my personal life. And I feel like I've said most of what I want to say, at least in regards to religion. With politics, I've got something new to say like every fucking day, but...
Grr.
Yes.
You want to make content with me?
You know what? You're white, I'm white, let's do it.
Let's do it!
You all need to start a podcast, right? It's podcast time.
The Growling Weasel Podcast. That's what
that's a kick-ass name,
right?
Like I said, with me and I've joked with Nitty. I'm like, if we start a podcast, it'll be called "Getting Down to the Nitty Gritty."
Yes. Oh, that would be great. It doesn't work for me. Growling Weasel works for me. But...
that sounds like a kick-ass punk rock name.
Well, the growling weasel can be the mascot to the Nitty Gritty.
Oh, I like that. It'd be a trio. Yeah. But I will say this: I do, in all honesty, I do miss all of you. I think,
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm not gonna lie. Talking with you three and so many others over the past 2 years, my mind has been opened up so much. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still a piece of shit, and I've still got a lot of fucking work to do on myself. But y'all have really made a huge difference in my perspective and my outlooks, and also made me recognize my own bias. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm still fucking full of biases. I try to be aware of them, but every now and then I'm just
it's impossible to get rid of your biases.
We're humans.
Yes, but y'all have really, in all honesty, y'all have made a huge difference in my personal life. So I really can't thank y'all enough, in all honesty. But that's enough of that sentimental shit before I get all...
You gonna say anything to your fans, the people who miss you, and
the racist girl comes out.
Native atheist, he's just calling you out hardcore.
No, we were just talking about you. Bre, what were we talking about? Girl? Remember, we were just calling him out for ruining our lives. That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will say,
you remember that?
Yes, and I will say, I am sorry about all that shit.
No. You know what? So some shit popped off last night. We're not going to get into it. But I remember thinking, I love this because a lot of people were pissed off, and I think most of them are even here in my chat now.
That's not surprising remotely.
No, not at all. Because
I understand.
I don't know. Ember went to bed, so I'll call him out. Mark Reed was there. No, so that aside, some shit popped off last night, and I was there because, of course I was. And I actually didn't mind it. One, because it wasn't going off in my chat, so I didn't have to. Two, what I saw was everybody was calling it a dumpster fire, but what I saw was a bunch of people who were actually on the same page and were arguing about tactics. How do we get there? And that's where you want to be. You want to have a bunch of people with their own ideas, which means that we're not following anybody. We're thinking for ourselves, and we're trying to come to a conclusion about how to best get there. And that shows diversity of thought. And personally, I love to see it. But as happens so many times, egos get involved. And when people hear or see, you don't agree with me, I'm mad, something's wrong with you, it's an attack. And I would like to see, I really don't want to foster that kind of conversation. I'd rather just go into other people's chats and mod the chats, not like I did that last night, but it reminded me so much of what was going on in your chat last April, where we're trying to just have the conversation, and I did a stream and I think people were sending it to you, and I don't know if they thought that what I said was bad, but I think you agreed with me. I said, I applaud Grr for having the conversation because there's too many people here that won't.
I did see that, and I thought, oh my god, you're giving me way too much fucking credit. I was just like, oh god, don't do that.
Hey, Grr.
No, I mean,
like,
whether it was, I'm sure it wasn't. You didn't go in there saying, "Hey, I'm gonna uncover all the Nazis in the community."
No, that was.
Which you did.
All of this went totally over my head.
Yeah, that's totally fine. It did not go over me or Bree's head. We didn't feel safe for a very long time, and
Yeah, it's I still have
PTSD,
like anxiety issues with.
Well, here's my thing. I had made a post about it, about all that, like a couple days, maybe a week later, and in hindsight, I'm like, ah, shit, that I was really callous. I was like, well, if you got fucked over, well, you're welcome. You know who your friends are and who your enemies are, and as I look back on that, I'm like, fuck, that's fucking a terrible way to approach things. But yeah, I'm. At the end of the day, I am sorry about.
You fucking should.
Sorry about a lot of shit. To be
honest. You weren't the catalyst.
You were
you were your channel was a petri dish.
That's a good way to put it.
It's not, but you weren't the noxious element, in my opinion, or anything like that.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
You were, and we all saw that, and I think there's a lot of people who are like, "Well, he should have done it this way, or should have done it that way." And for me, I'm not gonna, I yell at a lot of people. Jay Bundy, if you're in the chat, probably I've screamed at him. So, Robin, thank you for the $2. Really appreciate you. Wholly appreciate you. I probably screamed at Jay Bundy a lot of times over tactics and how you have the conversation. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell somebody how to run their show. I just want the conversation to come out. I want people to talk about it. And I said this in one of my videos about a week or two ago to Mark Reed. Just have the goddamn conversation. I don't care what it looks like. Just have it, because we need to get it out there. And all these fucking Nazis and neo-Nazis, or whatever you want to call them, bigots, they didn't get to where they were. Okay, so what we did in the past was say, okay, we don't like racism. Everybody's on the same page. Racism is bad, so we're not going to tolerate and we're going to shut it down. And they developed fucking 4chan. And that's
right.
Not what I want.
Because they weren't all on the same page.
Right, because we weren't all on the same page. They were. So they went somewhere where they could find people of like minds. And then they had the conversation there. We need to bring them out into the light of day. We need to challenge bad thoughts. And, I've said to people, whether it's Andrew, Pine Creek Doug, Darth Dawkins, like holy shit.
I
Don't
hate
have
Matt
the
Powell.
fight. Matt Powell. Don't have the fight on your channel. Fuck that shit. When it comes to people like them, the conversation isn't for them. They're not coming around as long as they're getting money. They're going to follow the money. You're talking to the money. If the money moves, their position will move.
Right.
That's where we need to be. And if there are people, and I was saying to Doc, and I'm like, I need to whore you out. Why? Because that's,
I'm beautiful.
I've done everything I can do.
And I have mad sexual appeal. It's
exactly.
Look at me.
But it's like
look
we
at
need
this weasel form.
Oh,
I'll be right back in 30 seconds, Dr. Weasel.
He's doing that on purpose. I've seen him and squeezed him in real life. I know he doesn't have that. He's super skinny in real life. He puffs his belly out when he does that. I know for a fact.
It was a horrible situation. We all felt bad about it, but feeling good isn't something that anybody should expect to deserve. What we needed to do was get everything out, to have the conversation. A lot of people got educated, and a lot of people had to come to terms with what side they were going to fall on. And at the end of the day, you are the reason I know who my friends are. And I'm always going to be grateful to you for that.
Well, I mean, again, like, I really appreciate that on levels, like, I can't express. But yeah, when it comes to me talking with people, especially when it's people I don't know or barely know, and shit starts going off, it's like, okay, there's a couple ways I can go about this. I can either get rid of the person, cuss the person out, or what have you. But deep inside my brain, I'm like, well, fuck, I want to know, why does this person think this way? And I understand how some people, maybe a lot of people, could say, okay, Grr is entertaining these people. He's entertaining these thoughts to be accepting or welcoming. And it's like, I understand why someone would think that, but it's honestly, it's just me being just fucking curious. Like,
right.
Like flat earthers.
I saw that for what it's worth. But I can understand why some people would think differently.
And to be fair, when I am perceived that way, as entertaining and welcoming of people with terrible points of view and whatnot, I always think to myself, well, fuck, I hope nobody defends me, because if somebody defends me and that costs them friendships and relationships, I'd rather you just throw me under the bus. Like, I will be Jesus Christ, goddamn. Like, just throw me on the cross. It's fine. But
I am Jesus Christ.
But like,
Jesus Christ.
I just hate the thought, and I've always have since I started. I realized, okay, Grr, you're getting into some dicey waters. If people, stop associating with you or other people on your streams, I don't want that to happen. But if it happens, fuck, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to have conversations, and I do try my best to still man and to be like empathetic, only because I used to be a very terrible person, and I still am in many ways. But like, I used to be that stupid little snot-nosed kid that would say, you know what? If you need government assistance like welfare or Medicaid, then you just need to work harder. And like, that's just not who the fuck I am anymore. Like, I grew up, basically. And again, I've still got a shit ton of growing up more to do, but it's like,
life is a journey.
Yes. And thank you, Stephanie. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I try to talk to people that I consider to be terrible pieces of shit the same way I would have hoped somebody would have talked to me when I was in that state. Not saying that they will change, but maybe it's naive. But I just think, oh God, maybe if somebody treated me with a little bit of dignity, that I would have changed my mind a lot sooner. But then again, you never know.
Yeah.
Right. No, and that's where I am with it, because I think a lot of people think that it's that it has to challenging people has to look a certain way. and it doesn't. I've seen, and I was saying to Bre and Doc earlier, where people being too hard on people comes off as looking intolerant, and it turns off your allies.
Yeah.
And what I've been saying to people behind the scenes is, it doesn't look one way. It's going to look a multitude of ways over a period of time. And for everyone who was an atheist and is not now, or started out as conservative and is not now, or even had a girlfriend, and thought she was the best thing in the world and now doesn't, like, there are things that can change our mind, and there are ways to get that across, and there are ways that don't.
Well, can I just say this? And it feels weird for me to say this, but you know who was a huge influence on the way I interact and conduct myself with people that I strongly, vehemently disagree with?
Who?
Destiny, of all people. And the reason why I say
Destiny
this
used to be great.
Well, he had a debate with this stupid fucking YouTuber named No Bullshit.
I heard about that. I never saw it.
Brooks?
It's been so long, I don't even remember if that's the guy's name or not, but his channel was No Bullshit. And this guy was insulting Destiny. And I'm not defending Destiny and everywhere else in his views, but this one particular debate, this guy insulted him over and over again, and Destiny never once lost his cool. He just kept it level.
It's hard.
And kept talking.
Yeah.
And
it's hard.
I watched this probably back in 2015, 16, and that has always stuck with me. And I always thought, shit, like this guy, regardless of where he is now, like I really want to hone in on that quote unquote skill of not losing my shit and just saying, okay, whatever. And also I think it makes the other person look worse when they're the ones, like I'm a big fan, maybe too much of a fan, of letting someone give enough rope to where they end up hanging themselves with their words. But of course their fans don't see it as such. And that's where the mistake happens on my part, because I'm like, okay, I've given them enough rope to hang themselves, but their fans don't see it as such. They see it as them as Indiana Jones with a fucking whip. But anyways, I'm rambling.
No. I mean, people want to hear from you, because you brought all the boys to the yard today. We have,
my milkshake brings.
We were at like 65 for most of the stream, which we haven't done that since Dr. Kip a whole 2 weeks ago.
Well, every time I've checked in on your channel, on your streams, you're always pulling in big numbers, though.
Yeah. I am really surprised at our ratio, our sub to viewer ratio.
Well, I will say this, and I don't know if this is a dark side of me or not, but when I see you getting so many viewers,
jealous,
so many views, I'm like, fuck, you see, I'm not needed. Like, because
like, God, no, that is so that neat. That is so that true.
No, I just think, goddamn, like Maya, everybody's just knocking it out of the park. Thank God. Now, if there was no atheists or skeptical YouTubers out there, maybe I'd feel more like obligated, if you will, to keep streaming. But I'm like, no, the internet's in good hands. When you got Maya, Bre,
you forgot my name. I love it.
No, I wasn't. I was actually thinking, should I say Mark Reed? Should I say Bill Talk?
You weren't even next on the list.
Oh, fuck, it's even worse. That's true. I figured you were coupled in with that Dr. Weasel.
Finally getting what I deserve.
So, do you know who I am?
Oh, go ahead. What'd you say? Bre, what'd you say?
I told Vandy to say, do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Get fucked, Doc.
You just got Polygia'd. That's my news.
I am honored beyond words to be in such good company as like Ember, Skeptic and Scoundrels, Nara. I just a fuck ton of people who I'm a little jealous got like 35,000 subs over the past year, and I'm like, you just started streaming last year? Like I wasn't even monetized last year, and these motherfuckers like it's just so crazy to me. But yeah, I do have very loyal fans, and I love fans. I have friends. I have really close friends, and I'm looking at the chat now, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm in all of like they hit the go live button, and I'm there, and we come around and we support each other. And I'm gonna say to you what I said to David Hogg when he was saying that he didn't want to run for office in Florida, and I'm like. And he was saying it because he was like, there's too many white men in politics. Like, I feel like I need to step aside. And I'm like, no, like the reason we're talking about too many white men in politics is because the ones that are running are just trash garbage. What we need in politics is more men like you, more people who are willing to sit down, shut up, have the conversation, and understand where the other side is coming from. And I'm going to say that to you too, as a streamer. There are too many people, like Darth Dawkins, Witsit, Praise I Am That I Am. Like all these are the people that don't deserve my attention in the stream.
Oh, God, those people.
And, it's just like with voting. For each one of them that, is out there, we need one of us here to counter it. It's important.
Wait, so can we cover Witsit then? On Best
No.
Okay.
No. Not Witsit, not Flat, so go fuck yourself.
Every time Leo Phileas debates, Witsit gets it. I'm like, oh my God, why? Why? I love Leo. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking on Leo, but I'm just like, why?
It's like, I know I have a soul because I feel a part of it die.
That's so true.
You guys aren't going to like what I'm about to say.
You don't have to say it. Titan came with this very handy dandy clip that he would like all of us to watch, so we could just go straight there.
And apparently, that to the teenage girl.
Wait, what? No.
Apparently,
there we go. That's close.
That is an abomination. Whoa!
You go back to the beginning. What are we talking about?
Well, I don't know.
It's a random quote that Titan sent, and it's only 15 seconds.
That is an abomination, and it's woke, and I shall not stand for it. I think this was a stream where I was just fucking losing my goddamn mind. That is an abomination.
It's a clip.
And it's woke, and I shall not stand for it. Okay, so I see the video I'm responding to is LGBTQ controls everything now.
I think that was like Johnny Cash's eyes in the video for Hurt.
It kind of does.
LGBTQ Minati.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Boom.
But I'm telling you, like, anytime, like, if I was responding to religious stuff, again, it was the same fucking 5 arguments that I've responded to, and others have responded to far better. And then anytime it was political, it was always something about, oh yeah, the gays are taking over. Gays are everywhere. And it just gets to a point where I'm just like, you know what? Why should I take this shit serious? And so I just become I just impersonate who they are. And I'm like, yeah, the woke mob are coming to get us, but it's an abomination. And I just have fun with it. Now I have to go back and watch that clip because I remember losing my mind in a few streams. I think that was in one of them. Of course, it was solo.
Of course. All right. Bre, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up this week?
Hey, I'm Bre. Let me get over here. I do a show called Hive Sci, where I do a show called Live from the Hive on Hive Sci. It's a YouTube channel where I talk about. This Saturday I talked about the Tananula tiger from Australia, which is a cryptid, and then we talked about the Bosnian pyramids, which are not pyramids but hills. So stuff like that. I debunk a lot of BS and pseudoscience and have fun doing it. And then we'll do a little bit of science at the end. Usually, I think what we talk about this week, we talked about the coast of the southern United States, the black soil prairies that were the Cretaceous shorelines, and how they affected our 2020 election. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So if you like that kind of topic, check me out at Hive Sci.
YouTube.com /@HiveSci. Yes.
Yeah.
Bre is amazing. And you gotta come through.
Mm-hmm.
I usually I'm like drinking coffee, taking a shower, running errands while I'm listening to you. So I'm not always in the chat. And I know I'm a mod and I'm supposed to be, but you have a really good chat.
Yeah.
So I rarely worry about them.
I don't usually get trolls. I have in the past had some people that came, sometimes surprisingly out of left field with some bigoted takes or some hate speech that I never even saw coming. It breaks my heart when that happens. But
I will say,
look, Bre.
I will say, you and Bre get like the best viewers. All my viewers, all they can do is say, "Oh, Grr, go to bed, you suck," which is funny. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, what? Why can't I get the nice viewers like Bre?
You get a lot of bros.
Remember when you told Mock to go to bed?
Yes, I do. And I still laugh about it because that was funny. Something so innocent was taken. Never mind.
No, but yeah, you get a lot of bros in your chat, and I remember thinking once, I'm like, man, I just need to jump in Grr's streams and let him bring all the trolls in, and then we can have like the conversation. Because like, they don't do that over here. I really don't get I don't get trolls.
Yeah.
I just get people that my mods hate vehemently.
It's a two-edged sword because yes, because if you go that route, you get a bunch of good people, and then you get a bunch of spice and shit worth responding to and obviously talking about. But it's like, ooh, it gets, well, as you know, it gets dicey. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is don't listen to any advice that I may give because it is the wrong advice.
No, I mean, Grr, I'm gonna say it to you, just like not just like I said it to Mark, but I want to say it to everybody else in the chat. Have the goddamn conversation, please, because it's not helpful if you're nice to people for the sake of being nice. We don't want you to smile on our face and then push us into the wood chipper because you don't want to be rude to Nazis. You don't want to cause waves.
Right.
It's not helpful. What we need is people to get their views out, and so that we can squash it. So, like for instance, I do practice what I preach, and that's just not for everybody who's seen me like going to town on people in the side chat, which I know I'm known for. But like, Skylar Fiction is one of my closest internet friends. Like, we have each other's cell phone numbers. Like, we talked a lot offline, and he made very bigoted stances about the trans community. I tried to intervene, and I mean, I know a lot of people saw that stream with him where like Jeff went in, and Bria talked to him like way before that. You did a stream, just you talked to him before that. I tried to send Steph in. He was rude to Steph. And then I tried to catch him after the stream, and I'm like, yo, this is not cool. Like, try to give him information. I'm like, this is like the scientific data. And he's like, yeah, fuck science. This is weird. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not, he doesn't want to, he's not open. So he just got lambasted for like a solid 2 hours. I'm gonna let him cool off. And so when I found him in a good mood, it was Christmas morning, and it was after his divorce, the very first Christmas that he had ever had without his kids, and he was looking for family. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to start a fight.
I was there. I know.
Fight.
Bre, you were. I can't tell you how helpful you were, because I was really ready to jump through the screen and start strangling a Santa.
I feel like I didn't have any impact on him at all. I feel like he's annoyed by me and talking to me.
I think you were more helpful than you know. And again, I say to everybody, you're not going to change anybody in a conversation. So stop thinking that is possible. The goal should be to try to leave at a point of agreement. and not you conceding to them. You need to hold them to a point, and they need to come left. Just, a fact. Can we agree that there's not XY, isn't boy and XX isn't girl? Sometimes that's not true. And, or whatever. And, I think for Skylar, the thing that kind of budged him was when we were talking about, it's like, okay, I'm black. Your kids are black. We're fighting the same people. Your kids are fighting the same people as Bre. And he shut up after that. And that made a dent where it's just like, okay, you hit home. And it was, I'm not saying it completely transformed his thoughts, but it was a seed. Hey, maybe I should look at this differently. And that was the point of agreement. And that was that wasn't what we parted on, but that's when I backed off and I'm like, all right, I have something there. I have something that I'm going to leave him with. He's going to be more open. And then the next time he has a conversation with an ally, he'll be a little more open. That's all I wanted. And those are the things that you should try to. People are always like, you can't convince people, you shouldn't even try to talk to them. And I hate that because we've all been convinced of something that we just knew were facts.
More people end up dead that way. Yeah.
Yeah, because
you need to find a point of agreement and then you need to split. And, the next time you see them, hey, did you think about what I said? And then you can find another point of agreement and then you split. When you listen to Objectively Dad, and what did he say? It took him a whole fucking year to get from Christianity to atheism and having, thinking about it, having these conversations. What about this? What about that? Before he got there. That's normal. That is normal. And those are the things that we should be aiming for. And that's what I advocate for. It's not, you don't agree with me. I cancel you. I block you. I'm never going to have this conversation again because you're bigoted and hateful. What can we agree on?
That is what you just described is exactly how I personally do try to go about things, because this is anecdotal, just going off my own experiences. It's the little seeds of thinking about a thing that really sprouts into a big ass tree of a different view on any given topic. And that's how I try to approach things. Like when somebody is spouting off with just nonsense or hatred, I just think, okay, what can I say that will hopefully make this person think? I know they're not going to change their mind on the spot overnight, but maybe if I just try my best to implant some sort of seed of thoughtfulness on any given topic, maybe that little seed will grow into something. Because that's how it was for me as a young Christian, young Earth creationist Republican.
No, and I'm not just saying this. My bachelor's degree, I don't even know where it is. My bachelor's degree, it's in psychology. My master's degree is in behavioral psychology. I'm not just saying this because I think it, and Vandy was telling me that I need to do like a stream or get somebody to do a stream with me about this. The numbers, there's science behind this. This is, the we call it straight epistemology here, but these are methods that do get people to change their minds. And people are like, oh, well, facts don't get people to change their minds. Yes, they do. They do. And this is, what do you call it? This is how you do it. And again, it takes patience. There's no magic bullet. There's no, what do I say to all people to get them to stop being religious?
Yeah.
You have to figure out why this person is religious. And it's not going to be what they tell you. You're going to have to kind of deduce it from their belief system, and then that's what you attack, and then that's what gets it to crumble. And we all went into religion for different reasons. We all stayed for different reasons. We're all going to come away for different reasons. So, I wish I could make it easier than that, but it's not. You got to get to know people. You got to talk to people. You got to treat people like human beings. And that's how we make the world a better place. And it's long and it's tedious, and we've all got to get on one page, and we've all got to commit to having the conversation. And, at the end of the day, I don't even need to have the conversation. If I can just convince enough people that they need to have the conversation, I will die having known that I made the world a better place. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vandy.
Yeah, I was. Oh man, what was I?
Time up. Time up,
Yeah,
Dr.
no,
Weasel.
man.
ADHD.
It's the ADHD.
I
It
feel
totally
you.
is the ADHD. Like sometimes like you've got a thing, and like Leo. Sometimes Leo will be like, if I don't say it right now, I won't remember it. And,
I'm the same way.
Like, just boom.
Yeah.
He does it often. I love you, Leo.
We do love you, Leo.
I miss Leo.
We do. We really we're big stands Leo on the channel. But
9 months ago.
I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah.
No worries. Bre, are you still there? Do you still have your video?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Actually, I'm gonna keep us on this stream. Oh, is this
It's just that outro video I made for you.
Oh, right. Yeah, Bre made
Yeah.
me an outro video since my last one kept getting the streams demonetized.
Which is dumb because we specifically looked.
We did, and
was it a song?
This will
yeah,
not
it was
be.
So I went to YouTube's no copyright videos,
right?
And I went through there and I found one that said no, and it said Bandy can back me on this.
Yes,
this is a no copyright song. So I make a video where the transitions are done around the beats of the song, and YouTube's like, this isn't a copyright strike, but you're never making money on any of the streams that has this outro.
Was it because of that song?
Yeah, it was because of the song. It was because of the song. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
I know.
We should.
And I wish I was more creative so that I could just make a song. But we
can solve this problem. We can find people who could solve this problem, which is the same as solving the problem ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is only like 38 seconds long, but I thought that would work just fine for like an intro,
that's
outro.
beautiful. So I do want to thank Skeptic Haven for coming through. Come back at the beginning of the show, watch it from start to finish, because that's how the algorithm. Those are the things that the algorithm likes. And
yeah,
you guys, if you want to go to bed early, I'm totally cool with that. Just keep the phone on. That's just start to finish.
Exactly.
Start to finish. That's all I ask.
You gotta watch it. Make your phone watch
it. Yeah, seriously. Like, if you can't afford to pay 99 cents for additional emotes when you come here, if you just don't want to, if you can't afford to give super chats, or if you just don't want to, I don't care. That's totally cool. If you want to help me out, start to finish. But you can even, this isn't even like Twitch. Twitch won't give the views if your volume's down. YouTube, no fucks. You can just keep the phone on while you sleep. You don't even have to listen to my annoying ass voice. You can just keep it on. Start to finish. Whole 2 hours. Helps me out a lot. And if you want Grr to come back, you can do the same for the Grr Mania or the Grr streams.
No, not the Grr streams.
Like if it starts doing well on the algorithm, he's going to feel bad about leaving the internet.
I will
get him back.
If out of nowhere the Grr streams channel took off, I'd be like, of course. Now that I'm away, now that I want to stop doing this, that's good. I had a video do that on my main channel. I was like, this is going to be the last video. I'm not going to say shit to anyone. This is just going to be the last one. And then it blew up relatively big compared to my other videos. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
I've got a few more videos in the tank.
Because we missed you. And we were watching start to finish. And the algorithm was like, hey, I love that shit. Started sending it to strangers.
Was that the Paula Gio video?
No. I was probably thinking about it at that time, but no. It was a William Lane Craig video. I was like, all right, this is going to be the last fucking video I do. I'm ready to get away from all this. And then it got more views in a small amount of time than any of my other videos ever did, which was only like a couple thousand. And I was like, God damn, what happened here? Okay, fine. I've got another script. I'll record it. I'll make a video out of it.
See, out of the mouths of Grrs, you guys can have the content you want. You just gotta watch it. You just gotta watch it. Right.
Part of me hopes like nobody watches it, so I don't feel bad just stepping away. I'm not gonna lie.
This is how I always feel.
Yeah, I'm like, if nobody watches this shit, I will feel no guilt whatsoever. Just
you know what? We did it again. We did a 45-minute outro. Like Man, we could have done the other video by now. Anyways,
Yeah.
all right.
No,
you know
we
what?
couldn't have. We couldn't have.
All right.
But I see your point.
You want me to play us out?
Please play us out.
All right.
Bye, everybody, and we'll see you next week with
Adios.
somebody. Jay Bundy.